This episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast is brought to you by Blue Apron. Now, Blue Apron, obviously, we've talked a lot about them before. You know, Game Over Greggy himself, Greg Miller, big fan of his show on Instagram, Cooking with Greggy. You can find him on the little hashtags and stuff. He's a big fan of cooking and stuff. Blue Apron, been really helpful with that. Because here's the deal. They send you little recipe sheets, all the things that you need. You can make each meal within 40 minutes or less. Tell me that's not a good deal, Kevin.
It's a great deal.
It is. So here's the deal. They are the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the entire country. It is their goal to make incredible home cooking accessible to everybody. And that includes me. And I can't cook. I haven't used it yet personally, but that's just because I'm just really not into cooking and stuff. But Greg's been loving it. Kev, have you used this?
No, I haven't, but Paula really wants to get it.
Oh, we got to get it for Paula. If she wanted to get it, you can tell her she can check out this week's menu and get her first 3 meals for free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/gamecast. No S there, just Gamecast. Okay?
Literally every time she asks, I'm like, let's do that.
Okay, good. Let's make her do it. You'll love how good it feels and tastes to cook using Blue Apron. Remember, again, blueapron.com/gamecast. First 3 meals free shipping. We'll get Paula's review soon, and we'll let you know. Till next time, Blue Apron, a better way to cook. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 113 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one half the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Hey, what's up?
I need to figure out what to do with that intro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I don't want to RIP. Like, Colin will always be the second half.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like when not me, of course, because I'm a dude, I'm a manly man, but like when you'd have like, you know, in grade school, like when the girls had their best friends forever and they'd have little hearts that came together, the things. Not that I ever had one of those, don't worry.
I get what you're saying.
And I didn't have that penguin that turned out to be a girl's toy either. But it's like one of those things, like that's what this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But our good friend, Danny O'Dwyer.
You should maybe for the guests, you should like have like a second thing on it. Hey,
no cheers. I've never had Gettys before.
Really?
Well, you know, I figured I'd bring some over. Seemed like a good time for an old drink.
Too dark for me. Hurts my head. That's why I didn't do it. I apologize.
Wow,
I didn't mean to insult your heritage.
It's no problem.
Okay.
There's a lot.
Have you never had one either, Kevin?
No, I haven't.
Just taste sensation.
God damn it, Kevin. I love this fucking show. I love this
I love
goddamn
it. I love
company.
it so much.
That's what it was. No, I've had Guinness before.
Guineas? You've had Guineas before?
Guineas.
Have you?
Yeah, some of that Gettys.
Guineas. I can't say it. Whatever. I've had that shit before, and it's great. Especially with the pizza, but I think it's the...
It's malty.
Yeah, it's the...
Show your tongue again. Show your kids. So, Kevin, we went to Ike's Sandwiches today.
Oh,
and
you
they give you the green apple pop on the way out.
You get the
but
free
Kevin
lolly.
always exchanges it for a blueberry blow pop, and then his entire mouth, teeth, and tongue are blue. But now it's just down to his
Fucking
tongue.
worth
Dude,
it.
if you drank some
Blue.
Guinness, your shits are real dark. So
Oh,
you
really?
Should, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
got that to look forward
Oh,
to.
yeah. You got those Guinness shits.
That is exciting. So, Danny, you are joining us again on the Kind of Funny Gamescast. You're one of our earliest guests.
Sure.
Like
Really?
Going back to the old days of the old
Jesus.
studio.
Back when I worked at GameSpot.
Oh, yeah. So it was a long time ago. And I
He's
remember
been here since
doing...
No Clip, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
He was on
Okay.
Game Over Greggy.
Game Over Greggy, yeah.
Okay,
He
all
might
right.
have been on a Gamescast as well, in addition
Okay,
to that.
my
But
apologies.
the reason I bring
Who
this
knows?
up is I remember doing the intro and saying the coolest dudes in video games, and I included you as well. So you did get the honorable mention that you are also
Thank
one of the
you.
coolest dudes in video games.
Thank
and
you.
I stand by that.
That means a lot from somebody wearing a Saved by the Bell shirt.
Yeah.
Standing at
If
the
there's
edge of
anyone that knows
tomorrow.
cool in 2017, it's
For
this
sure.
guy.
Yeah.
Here's the
Gettys.
thing, you got to keep it genuine. Like the open shirt, Nick was giving me shit for it.
Yeah.
I think, and Nick gives shit, but it's the type of thing where he's like, I'm only giving shit because like I actually respect it. And
Yeah,
I like it.
big brother.
So he's not sure if he's supposed to like it or not. So he's like judging me. Like he'll make fun of me to see if it's cool.
Right.
And so yeah, no, you only do it with this. What was that cut?
I was going to say, Kevin's been playing fast and loose with the cutaways and the weird things here. He thinks that we're not noticing.
No. It's just earlier today, I accidentally pulled the knob down.
What's wrong with your mouth today?
I don't
This
know,
is
man.
Kevin every
What was
day.
in that lollipop? Did you buy that lollipop down in Dolores Park? That's a
Wait, let me
different
see
type
that
of
cut,
lollipop.
Kev.
What?
Let me see the cut you just did.
No, I'm just saying the knob.
the
was-
knob.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay, do it a little slower.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I like that.
Riding that
Now,
bar.
here's a question I had from that came up on the morning show today, and it's not an insult to you. Is this a fashion choice or a function choice? Leaving it open.
This is the fashion choice. That's what I was saying.
Well-
Like, no, because it's the 90s style with the shirt.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when I would leave my button downs open growing up because I was fat. I didn't want the shirt to be tight and show how rotund I was.
The same reason I do to this day.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. I get.
Yeah. He says it's fashion. He doesn't think it's.
No, it's the fact. That's how you do this.
You
With your
carry
shirts.
it.
Come on.
It works well.
No, you look great. No,
I'm
it's
not
not
trying to get away from the fact that I'm fat, but that's
This
not
you
why I
are
do
not
this with
fat.
the shirt.
This is not where we're going with this.
Well,
I'm not
I
fat
feel
shaming
fat-shamed.
anybody. We blue tongue shamed Kevin, Nick. They can't even hear you.
You
This
used
is-
to be-
Speak into Kevin's. Kevin, turn on the camera and let Nick speak in there with
All right,
you.
Nick, come here.
This is playing great for the podcast, by the way.
They love
No,
it.
you gotta go closer. No. What,
See, that doesn't
that's
play.
not
Nick being a
weird.
ghost doesn't play at all.
You're like clipping out too. Oh Lord.
Your tongue's not blue. So his own, Kevin is on.
Fourth graders' tongues are blue, and Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every week we get together and talk about video games. Sometimes.
And blowing
And
the
all
Cookie
things-
Monster.
Yeah, and blowing the
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. You can get it early at patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, or you can get it late at youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Either way, we appreciate you and all the things that you do for the community. Just like our producer for the week, Salem. Got him, all got him. Round of applause.
Salem.
The homie.
Yeah.
Is that a first
Coming
name?
through.
Yeah.
First name Salem. Last name
Witch
Got him, all got
Trials.
him.
All got him.
no.
Yes, I know.
not sure.
Right?
That's the only thing I know from.
Jobs to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a while too.
Yeah.
Since Steven Insler was finally like, oh shit, I
Where's
left his
Steven
credit
Insler?
card on.
Yeah.
He was our Patreon producer for like 7 months. We're like,
Yeah.
dude, this is
It was
expensive.
a little bit crazy.
You're a good man though, and you're good women too. Anybody else you want to support?
Do you ever do the Salem Witch Trials mission in Fallout?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one where it's like a death claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Cool.
Hell yeah.
That was good.
Fallout's pretty good.
So, first topic of the day, I want to talk about the games of 2017 leading up to E3. So, because here's the deal,
Right.
I want to set the stage here. It's mid-March at the
It is,
time of
yeah.
this recording.
It's been a real banger of a
Fuck,
been
what a
fucking
goddamn year.
months.
So, all right, we know, of course, we got Zelda. Of course, we got Horizon, right? And like those alone, you could just be like, all right,
Good year.
wrap it
Wrap
up.
it up.
We had a great year. Go back a bit before that, Resident Evil 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
Way better than anyone expected.
For sure.
We got Neo coming out of fucking nowhere. What else we got?
Nier Automata.
We got Nier.
Automaton.
Yeah. And yeah, Snipper Clips. I'm going to give a shout out to the Snipper Clips.
Snipper Clips is a good video game.
I fucking love
Yeah.
Snipper Clips.
Right around the time that it's posting Snake Pass. I mean, I'm not saying we're grasping at straws. We're bringing in
No.
little games now, but we're
There's
showing
little
how.
games, but it's
Night in the Woods?
Huh?
Night in the Woods.
Night in the
You're
Woods.
going to talk about that next topic. I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
I'm not. None of us. I don't know about you. None of us were. I'm into it and I enjoyed it, but not enough to go play it, the final version and over. But For Honor sold really well.
Oh, yeah,
No,
for sure.
could not.
I mean, Ghost Recon's Wildlands sold
NPD.
really well.
Yeah.
It's killing
yeah,
it.
But that wasn't.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
didn't seem to love
Wildlands was
that.
like whatever, but like For Honor was like, oh god, like that's.
Wildlands fucking fun. That's the problem,
I agree.
man.
Well, the Wildlands is fun, but it's fun in spite of it's trying to be serious. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you
been
just have to
tonally
have
all over the
friends
place.
to play it.
We played
Yes.
we played together and it was all right. It was fun, but I was like, man, we could
I
play
had
in
a great
Division.
time.
Mass Effect.
And then Mass Effect,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
Mass
yeah,
Effect, the first dud of the year, and even then,
Who would have thought?
I
There
know.
would be like 6 games better than Mass Effect.
like, I mean, well,
Oh, yeah?
see, that's the thing. It's like, who
I
would
was
have
like,
thought?
why haven't we seen anything from this game? This seems weird. And then I did play
Right.
it, and I was like, oh, I played it actually, and I played the PC build.
Okay.
Played it on console. I was like, oh, this is not coming.
Well, that's why I loved when Andy, and this was about a year ago at this point, he just tweeted out, he's like, is anyone else starting to get worried about Mass Effect Andromeda?
Right.
And at that point, it was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
And what's funny about Mass Effect, a dud.
Right.
What? It's Metacritic's like 76 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is like, yeah, the animations suck. And like, it doesn't look like next gen Mass Effect. Like, it reminds me a lot of, now not in terms of review scores, it reminds me a lot of the reception to Fallout 4 in a way. Fallout 4 came
expectation.
out. Exactly. And we were like, oh, it's Fallout 3, but better. But like, okay. And this is like, and now granted, I don't think Andromeda is necessarily better than the other ones, but it is, oh, it's more Mass Effect. I don't know, right? But it's
Right.
not, it didn't push the bar. It
They
didn't,
didn't
reset this
reinvent the
thing.
wheel all
Yeah.
over again, like
It's
Fallout
the
3
same.
did. Or,
I always say it's the same argument Colin would make about Fallout 4 compared to The Witcher and Dying Light or whatever. Of like,
Right.
this was a game clearly made in a vacuum where they went away and they worked on it and they came back and like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, this world has changed.
games changed.
Yep, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not like putting that next to Horizon, next to Zelda. You're like, this isn't the same thing.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just been crazy. So again, Horizon, Zelda, those are the obvious big ones. But yeah, Nier and Neo are two other examples of just like PS4 being fucking awesome in terms of exclusives, but just in terms of quality games coming out. So now in between the mid-March timeframe
Sure.
and
Yeah.
E3. So
What's
E3,
coming?
we're talking June 10th, right? I think that's the date that
sounds about right.
around there, the first, second week of June.
Kevin, give
We
me a
got
date
we got
check on
fair
E3 for
amount
me,
of
will you,
games
big
coming
guy?
out here.
I think you're right. I think it might be 11. It depends.
Nick, I literally called out the fact that you screwed me out of the Nintendo World Championship in topic number 4, which we recorded out of order, and here you are, and here you are coming in now with it.
I apologize. I thought you said just now, Nick, can you bring the Nintendo World?
I did not say that. That's your championship.
Put it here for you.
Don't put it in front of me.
Okay for you?
That's a
Yeah,
shit
it
belt.
is okay.
That's
It's
a shit
okay.
belt.
We can.
It's a belt can't even stand up on its own, man.
No, it's really terrible. How dare you?
Yeah, it's not.
You'll get a crack at it one day. You'll lose.
It's like a girdle for a baby.
Thanks. Says Nick. That's your name right there.
We'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
June
Watch
13th
gravity
to
do
June
its work.
15th.
Okay.
E3 this year.
There we go. There we go.
Garbage.
So yeah, the press conferences and stuff start
Sure.
around June 10th.
Hadn't
So
even left the
anyways,
room. And it fell over.
It happens. It's okay. It can stay. So I got a list of about 10 games with dates.
You better start with the biggest one.
Persona 5.
That's
Oh
the
yeah,
one.
shit.
April 4th.
Coming up quick.
All right.
Quick.
Yeah.
So where do we stand on this? What do we think that it's going to do for the industry? What Metacritic is it going to kind of settle
Oh,
at?
we're doing like a quick, crazy. Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. And we don't need
Okay.
to get too crazy. There's no bets. There's no anything with this. I
Metacritic's-
do want to do a Metacritic topic coming up where we guess the rest of the year and
What's
start putting bets down so
Oh,
we
wow.
can look back later and
Okay.
and see where we're at.
Persona 5 is going to do incredibly well. It's going to do incredibly well. I'm basing that on the fact that I've only played a few hours of it. Like I said, I still haven't played more since then. This is next topic is what we're playing. I think I'll save some thoughts there.
Cool.
But I'd already done my preview or whatever for the first few hours of Persona 5. It's what I expected from a Persona. That's super exciting. It's super stylized. The reason I think it's going to deliver beyond that, even in terms of the score, is the fact that I saw, Polygon's article and Kotaku's article, and the fact that they keep coming of, now I'm 65 hours into the game, and it's
Right.
this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? Like, the game clearly is delivering what people want, and I still think that this is the breakout Persona game.
Yeah.
Whereas in the same way we always talk about Uncharted to Uncharted 1, where Uncharted 1 came out, and if you had a PlayStation, you're like, oh, this is great. But a lot of people didn't have PS3s. So what you heard was you buy a PS3 in the years between Uncharted 1 and 2, but you hear about Uncharted, but you don't necessarily go back and play it. When Uncharted 2 came out, everyone was like, I'm on board for this. I've heard it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing I think we saw with Persona of, my first Persona was Persona 3 because Jeff Haynes, when we were on the PlayStation team at IGN, was like, you have to play this. And I played it. I was like, this is awesome. And then 4 came out, but it came out weird. It was like right after 3, or I got it right after 3, and I didn't get into it because I didn't want to jump into another one. And then that was fine, but that was a super nerdy, I'm into Japanese role-playing
Very
games. I know
niche.
about this. Whereas when then there was, Persona 3 Fez edition on PSP, more people were hip to it. And then Persona 4 Golden is like an industry changer, right? Like, you talk to somebody about, hey man, the Vita, there's no games, lol, lol, lol. Everyone's like, yeah, it was just my Persona machine. So even if you didn't have a Vita, you know how many people played Persona 4 Golden and are like, it's amazing, how great Yosuke is and Rize and all this stuff. And I think that's what's going to happen with Persona 5. It's going to land, it's going to be exclusive to the biggest console in the land, and everybody's going to be like, well, yeah, I have a PlayStation 4, and of course I want to play this.
Yeah, I'm coming from the perspective of somebody who's never played one of these games, but has like vicariously enjoyed that series through various websites like playthroughs, like Giant
Sure.
Bomb did playthroughs, Let's Play streams. Like I have seen people play through those games, but it's never really been the right time for me to get in. And I think that's exactly what's happening now. Is like this is, it's almost like it's Witcher 3 moment, right? Where like it's been in the public discourse for a good while now. And it's coming out, and crucially, what you just said, it's coming out on the console that is the one that people seem to. I mean, it's the one in the ascendancy, the one with a lot of games coming
It's
out.
kicking the shit out of everything. Yeah.
This year in particular,
Yeah.
Sony's having a fucking riot. And I think it's the game that like has been enough talk about it, and if it has all those positive reviews in the same way that CD Projekt were riding on that wave right up till The Witcher 3 came out, if it comes out and it's reviewing well, I think that's going to knock over a lot of people who are sort of in the maybe camp for this one.
Thinking about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, it's going to fill an interesting gap in the fact that it's coming out this close to Mass Effect. Mass Effect's thing was,
thought about
okay,
that.
cool. Oh my God, I have so many games to play. I've just got done with Horizon. I'm super into Zelda, and here's Mass Effect.
Right.
And now Mass Effect has been one of these games of like, you can pass on it probably. And
I am
think
passing on it. As a fan of the series, I am like.
And
passing
people
on
who are like, that was like, I'm really looking forward to them holding out. Maybe they're gun shy to it. Maybe they're going to jump in and not enjoy it. And now Persona is going to land there. And Persona is going to be that thing. I think that is like, you want style, you want substance, you want story. We're putting all the hooks into you and getting you this way.
I mean, it's crazy because, this is a game that when, everyone thought it was coming in 2015, 2019 and whatever. Then it didn't, and
Great,
it got
I think it
delayed, and all that stuff. And when it started getting delayed even more, it was just like, oh man, you're really not coming out on Valentine's Day? Like, are you fucking serious? And now that's gonna be the
Dodged
best
a
thing to
bullet.
happen.
Dodged
to that
such a
game.
bullet.
If it
100%.
came out at that time, it would have just been eaten alive. But now it's coming out at the best time.
It's one of those. I think it would have
a
done.
month after Switch launching,
Yeah.
which is the perfect amount of time for people to be quote unquote done with Zelda to the
Right.
point that they're like, I can stop playing. This is my number one priority.
Sure,
I'll
sure,
still
sure,
keep
sure.
doing a shrine here or there, but
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
done with the main.
And the like
part
3 or
by then.
4 other really big PS4 games that came out in the past couple of months. Like, what's coming out around it though? Does it have like a good window?
So that's
pocket?
the thing. We can all agree Persona 5 is going to kill. It's going to get great reviews. I mean, it's already being reviewed in Japan. So like we already have a standard there. Ukulele is the only real thing of consequence that I'm seeing in early April. That's April 11th. Obviously, very different audience, very different type of game. I don't even know the MSRP of Ukulele. Can you look that up, Kev?
I want to say it's $40. I'm just putting my prediction there because I think when we did our Let's Play, we talked about, or when Nick and I did our Let's Play,
Got
we
it.
did it there.
Ukulele is a really hard read. I'm even seeing it at GDC and seeing it at PAX as well with like a relatively strong presence. $40. Nice work.
Thank you.
That's why you're the best in the biz.
I'm sorry.
Like I can't tell, and like it had a Kickstarter and it's had a long story and it looks really polished, but it's just like what is the market for 3D platforming games? I feel like this happens every like 2 years where another one of these comes out and we're like trying to see if it's going to kick off or not, and I just don't know.
There's that fondness for it. There's that reminiscing of playing games like that, and I think this is, in the same way, I was going to say the same way off, and the same way everyone here at this table and people who have left this table have been able to find a life on Patreon, right? Of like, sure, I am super into this niche content and I will support it.
Yes.
That's what Kickstarter obviously has been for video games, and that's what it's going to be for Ukulele. I don't think Ukulele is going to move the needle in a major way, get in Persona's way or anybody's way. Because for me, I was like, when they announced it, I was like, oh, cool, spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie or whatever. I was never super into those games, but maybe the time. It's similar to, I feel like, music games, where like when Rock Band 4 came out, we're like, in the Guitar Hero, like maybe it's time for that to come back. And then was like, no, not really. And like when I watched Ukulele and we did Nick showed me his Let's Play footage and stuff, and even when I saw the Day of the Devs at Alamo Draft House, I was like, oh, this game's cool and it's cute and it's got a substance to it, but like the and like the words popping on screen, I'm like, I'm not feeling this. I don't see where I'm playing this. I'm not playing this on my screen, my big screen TV. Even on my Switch, I feel like I don't know if I'd play it there.
Well, so for me, that's where I think it's right at home is the Switch, and unfortunately, it's not coming out April 11th on the Switch. I don't think there's an actual date for that yet. I just know it's after. Because this totally is the throwback. Like, oh, I'm on a plane, I'm just going to play something, and like I have it there. You were saying that like it is such a weird kind of niche of like who is the audience for this game, and it's like, oh, do we really need 3D platformers? My problem is even within 3D platformers, there is a divide between the Mario 64 and the Banjo and the Rare games, the Banjo, the Donkey Kong 64, that type of stuff. And I never really liked that side. I never really liked the collectathon, super open worldy the 3D platformers, and that's what this totally is a spiritual successor to.
Right.
So it's like if it was a bit more of just like an actual platformer, like a more of a Spyro style game, or more of a even Ratchet and Clank. Like I think Ratchet and Clank had its moment, and it was
like
so
Jack.
successful. Jack, exactly, that type of stuff. Where those are so good, and I loved when Ratchet and Clank came out last year, and it was fantastic. But Ukulele is the thing for me where I'm like, I'll give it a shot because even though I don't really love and have the nostalgia for the Banjo type games, like I feel like it is coming at a good time for me in terms of having the Switch and where I'll be at with that. But I want to have like Marty Sleeve on the show to talk about him because he loves Banjo.
Yeah.
So like I think that this game might speak to him with a little
No, totally. And I think that's the thing, that there's an audience for it. My analog for a personal thing is like when I was, growing up playing games, right, or whatever. Like I love Jak and Daxter. I loved Ratchet and Clank or whatever, or liked Ratchet and Clank later on, I should say. But I remember always seeing Sly Cooper. And Sly Cooper, I would watch and be like, man, Sly Cooper's a game I want to like, but I can tell I don't watching gameplay. And when they put out the collection, I played it and I was like, oh, well, now, of course, I'm fucking Mr. Infamous. I love Sucker Punch. Let's go back and see what I didn't see before. And I started them up, I'm just like, no. And I'm like, maybe it's because it's dated. Let's try the Sanzaru game that I always mispronounce. Sanzaru. Let's play their Sly 4 or whatever, Thieves in Time. And I put that in and I was just like, no, this just isn't for me. And I like the devs, and that's one of those games you step back and I'm like, I can see the quality and appreciate it, but this is where it gets into, I think that's just not a game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm most interested in, you brought up the music game thing, and is it time for music games to come back? I don't think this ukulele is the question of, is it time for 3D platformers to come back? Because I think the answer is no.
I think it's good for ukulele because otherwise it would have been buried. Like the one saving grace
absolutely.
is that at least it's coming out in a window where it's the
It is
only
the
one.
only, and Mario is at the end of the year. But with ukulele,
see.
I think it's more similar to. Why is everyone so questioning about Mario?
Because we've been burned so many times by Nintendo and in video games in general. Don't take everything you hear just like to Bible truth, Tim. That's why.
No, I get that, but I just you both have mentioned in the last couple of days like that Mario Odyssey. You're like, we'll see. About
I mean, I
that.
said it at the fucking Switch event when they first announced it.
I
It's
wasn't
just
there
like
with you guys.
that was
that. I thought Mario was going to be a launch title.
Sure.
Like from everything I've heard, Mario is so close to being done if it's not already finished.
Yeah.
Seeing that trailer, I was like, all right, this game is done.
Yeah.
I had a feeling the only thing they haven't done is record the orchestral soundtrack because listening to it, some MIDI bullshit. Knowing Nintendo, like they usually show the trailers with shitty music and then they later record it like as their last thing. I think they're at that step.
I just
so
feel
I'd be
as
shocked.
video games in general, we've just all been burned so many times, and not to mention Zelda, right? Like I mean,
yeah.
for Nintendo, where Zelda just kept moving. And don't get me wrong, at some point it does
It's
become
different.
well, fuck the Wii U. But I mean,
Yeah, they're coming in hot on this whole console. Like they're still adding in the online stuff. Like a lot of stuff that was supposed to be on launch has got pushed out. We're eventually going to get Mario Kart Deluxe coming along. It just all seems to be quite like. I just wouldn't be surprised. It's like when people say Red Dead's coming out this year. It's like there is a universe where that'll happen.
and they're like,
but
but
it's
Rockstar always
soft
hits their
money.
date. I'm like, they didn't hit it with 5. What are you talking about?
Right.
Grand Theft Auto 5 got pushed.
Yeah. I don't see Mario Odyssey get pushed.
I hope it doesn't.
But that's a separate thing. My point was, I think that this is more of a Shovel Knight situation with ukulele, where it could be at least, where it is going to a very specific crowd that could potentially love the game. But that's a question of the quality of the game. Is it just a spiritual successor, or is it adding on to what it is? Because Shovel Knight is not just a spiritual successor to retro platformer games. It adds to them and it modernizes them. And Shovel Knight to me is like a perfect game because it not only gave me more of what I've remembered from playing the games, but it felt good now. Not just like, oh, this felt like it used to feel. It's like, oh no, this feels how it should feel. This feels how I want to remember those games. And it doesn't look like ukulele's doing that, but I think that that's what it would have to do to kind of have its own niche, be successful.
Yeah,
and
that would
then
break
lead
it
to
out in a way because like it has like this 3-year-long narrative, right? Like people know about it. So if then it gets an endorsement in the form of reviews and people saying it's good, then that will, push it out into a bigger audience.
Yeah, because again, Shovel Knight has a similar thing where it was just like it had the what?
This ain't doing no Shovel Knight. Don't worry about it.
No, but well, that's the thing though. But Shovel Knight was nothing.
Shovel Knight. This ain't no Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight was nothing until it came out. Like Shovel Knight was a Kickstarter that had a trailer that I was like, this looks cool. And they got the guy, Vert's doing music from OC Remix or from VG Mix and all that stuff. Great, cool. And it's a very underground shit. But it took people like Colin being like, no, this is worth looking at.
Yeah.
I mean, we're now
but
at
the
the
fact that we're not hearing that already. Ukulele previewed fine. People are like, oh yeah, it's a throwback, but it wasn't like beat down your door. Holy fucking shit, are you seeing that? And that's what Shovel Knight was. That's what Rocket League was.
Right.
That, what other games did Colin always claim credit for?
I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, hashtag Colin was right.
We'll see. I don't think the ukulele is going to do it, but
the fact
I
that
do
it's been
think the
so
Shovel Knight got
many-
popular
yeah.
after it came out, not before it came out.
I mean,
But I think there was really great buzz behind it, and I'm not because I'm joking around. Colin was on the early bird side of all that stuff, but there were other people there that saw it and were like moving that thing. You know what I mean? I remember when we brought it to the office, when Colin brought it to the office, and when he was there and Vince was there, and people were standing up, gathered around, like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!"
So,
Yeah, I think we're now at the stage where like unless you have that type of game that is breaking through, that people are like being evangelists for, like there's too many very good games coming out right now. Like if you're not in that realm, then you're fucking done and dusted. And like we'll have to see with this one, but it is strange that this is a game that's been at so many different on so many show floors, and we're not having that conversation around
Exactly.
it. So
and I also think it is one of those games that is just the narrative has gone on too long. As somebody not connected to it, I remember when the Kickstarter came and it's like, oh, it's former Rare guys are making this game. It's
that's
gonna
the
be
problem
great.
with Kickstarters.
And you're like, fucking awesome. And then here we are, and it's like, it's still now. And then when I was watching a draft test, I'm like, how is this the first time I'm really seeing this game?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I guess my personal interest out of it. But it is the same thing that no one's grabbing me and be like, dude, you got to look at this game. Like they did with Nier, you know what I mean? For a more recent example.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, you got to fucking check out this game.
Yep. Next up, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on April 28th.
Yes.
I don't know if I got to buy Mario Kart again.
Fuck.
Like I'm going
Yes.
to buy it. but I bought all the
how much you play
DLC
it
for
on
the
Wii?
Wii U version.
And-
But how
did
much
have
do you
a good
play on Wii
time
U?
with it though?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah?
I loved it.
See, that was my thing. Is like I am a Mario Kart fiend.
Right.
I love Mario Kart.
You just didn't have that Wii U experience?
I hate the Wii U. And so it was that I bought it, and then I'd sit there and be like, I'm doing, I fucking hate
Have you used your Wii
all
U
of-
since the Switch?
No,
It's
God,
amazing.
no.
I'm
No.
so
Fucking
actually.
hell. Are you kidding me?
I'm so sorry actually because I said this to somebody else earlier in the week and I made them feel bad for not having a Switch yet. But it's like playing like a VTech like child's fucking
Sure,
laptop.
sure.
It's like the cheapest.
Yeah,
weirdest
well,
sort
that's
of
how
thing in the
that's how I
world.
always felt with it to begin with, and so that was the thing of just like
I like my Wii U.
cumbersome and weird, and like
I do too. I really do.
See, I hated it, and I was talking about it. The last time we used it was at Let's Play Live Chicago, where we did
Right.
we did Mario Kart
Yeah.
Hot Pepper Challenge or whatever. And when I came home, I almost went and put it back on the shelf, and I was like, you know what, fuck you, and I tossed it just on the floor in my closet, and I see it all the time down there. I'm like, I hate you.
That was
I
a
still
good
have mine set up.
That was a good Mario Kart game. That was the best Mario Kart in years.
It totally
it was
was. I
solid.
think Mario Kart 8 is so solid. It's beautiful. It sounds great. It plays great. The courses are awesome.
Brilliant
the
course.
DLC was like
DLC was like
amazing,
like-
impeccable. That's
yeah.
how you should do DLC.
100%. I would have like bought like 5 more packs of
Yep.
that shit. It was
Just
amazing.
buy it again.
And well, that's
I
the
guess I
problem
will.
is it sounds like there's not too much more coming. Like, I mean,
Dry Bones is in this.
there's
you know,
more
there
characters
you go.
and the battle mode, which is key
Sure.
to this. And it's going to handle multiplayer better. Like
They had a really bad battle mode in the other.
it was really bad. But
Hey,
this is
you're just on the
car.
the race course. You're like, what?
Yeah,
They're just
no,
driving
that
around
was
each other.
dumb.
Like, what
Yeah.
the hell's going on?
I'm
Kevin, do me a
excited for
favor.
it.
Open up the Google Calendar right now for Kind of Funny, and make sure that you block out the afternoon of
What is it?
April 28th.
Is that when
No,
it's
that's the
coming
day after my birthday. But my birthday, I have something else going on in the afternoon. But it'll be my Mario Kart birthday stream where I play the community.
Ooh.
All day, all afternoon long.
That'll be fun. But
out? I will play the shit out of that live. Or
Come on over.
Not live. I will live.
Okay.
Portable.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, fuck yeah, totally.
I'm sorry,
And
one more
and
time.
that's-
What day?
I'm gonna fucking murder you.
April
28th.
the day it comes
after
out.
the.
I'm just double checking so I don't fuck this up.
I just want to come over there and kiss your mouth.
You come and do it, big boy.
You get blue lips.
No, I promised Jenna would stop kissing dudes. Will you please go there? Yeah, block it out after the Kind of Funny morning show all the way to 5 p.m. Joey Noel, work with everyone to make that happen. I don't know how we're gonna. I don't even know how this is gonna work.
But I'm very impressed with the Mario Kart 8 Switch because to me it is another example of Nintendo is listening, even though it doesn't seem like they are. Because my biggest problem with Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U was when you played multiplayer, you couldn't have 2-player where one person's on the TV and one person's on the gamepad.
Oh, you're right.
And that was stupid.
Right.
Like that was such an obvious, like, why are we doing split screen?
Because they want a horn. You want the screen to just be a
It's
horn.
giant fucking horn. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's stupid. So with the Switch, I'm happy. Like I've seen commercials that they've played where it is multiple people playing with their own Switches and they have their own screens.
Yeah,
cool.
So I'm
well, that
like,
was one of the
thank
things we had concern about, and then we asked about it I think, on the morning show or whatever, and they said yeah, we're fine.
But like split screen as well if you just play on
And
television.
you could do split screen. You could do. It seems like they're giving you options,
Right.
which is awesome. And also, I feel like already the Switch has the benefit of not having the shit controller problem.
Right.
Like with the
Yes.
Wii U. Like I was okay with the gamepad. I know
Sure, you
most
drank
people
the
weren't,
Kool-Aid.
but I didn't.
Stockholm syndrome. You're like, well, this is what it is, guys.
No,
this
man,
is how
it
it
has
is.
big buttons. The D-pad's awesome.
They're always with the big buttons.
I
with this
fucking
kid.
like the buttons.
He talks like
It
he's
feels-
Andre the Giant.
It
His
feels
thumbs
like a
are
Fisher
huge.
Price toy, but besides that, the buttons and D-pad were great. So the thing is, though, like to get my Wii U was a Smash Bros. Machine
Hell yeah.
for the
Right.
most part, right? And that meant I had the 2 GameCube controller adapters, 8 GameCube controllers. I was set plus the gamepad. But then for Mario Kart, that meant you needed 4
Yeah.
Pro controllers
Yeah.
or like nunchucks, and there was too many options for controllers that nobody liked. Whereas with the Switch, now there's a bunch of options for controllers that people do like.
One of those Joy-Cons better than the other one though.
Oh, yeah, but fuck that. I'm not talking about the Joy-Con, like just using that. But at least the Joy-Con grip, like controller thing, or having Pro controllers, or playing in handheld mode. I'm like, all right, cool, we can do this.
I mean, jokes aside, in how much I hated my Wii U, right? The reason I think I'm really going to be, I mean, it's the best of both worlds for me in terms of it, because that's exactly what you're saying of, for as much as we travel, as much as I'm playing my Switch right now, it is going to be cool. I'm on a plane. I'm going to get I'm going to 200cc. Let's get everything. Let's
Yeah.
unlock everything. And then it'll be, all right, cool. I'm in the office and we have time to go. You want to do a race? And like, okay, cool. And we do a race and Kevin sits over there and pouts because he doesn't have a Switch.
Yeah.
But we do that. And then it will be, all right, cool. Let's fuck around and do a morning stream, play the kids, or let's go home and I'll do this thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like when there's community game nights for that, I will fucking be all over that because
Mario
that's
Kart.
something I love to do. Unless you're snaking. No more of the snake.
no more.
You want
that
snaking?
snake.
I hate that snaking. Not Snake Pass.
Yeah.
Remember the old DS version? That was the problem
Yeah.
with DS version when you're playing
The
that thing.
online got ruined.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah,
Don't
they'll
cheat
just-
everybody.
yeah, don't
but
be
again, I'm
cheat.
sure the best friend community we build will be
All right,
fine.
moving on.
All right, sorry.
May 5th, Prey.
Oh shit.
Fuck yes.
May 5th. That seems way sooner than I thought. For some reason, Prey seemed like a
Bethesda, man, they don't
August,
talk
September
about
game.
games before they come out. They're just like,
brilliant
yo,
strategy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's
so
an-
you've played it.
Yeah.
Nick's played it.
Yeah.
You've done multiple reaction videos. What do you think?
I think it's going to deliver. I think that's another game. Yeah, like because you have to understand, like for me in particular, like sci-fi is so hit or miss with me, and no jokes about space or anything. And where I'm watching that initial trailer they put out when it was just like, all right,
eyeball thing.
praise back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this does not. I'm fighting what looked to be little monsters that are hair or whatever. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
This looks dumb. And then when I sat down with Nick and did his Let's Play of it, and it was from the beginning, and it was like, all right, cool. Have you seen it from the beginning? Have you watched the
I've
Let's Plays?
intentionally stayed away from them.
I won't spoil stuff,
Yeah.
but it's one of those you're like, oh, you're in a helicopter and you go up and like the fucking music kicks in. It's like drive music. You're like, oh fuck, like this is rad. And then there's this huge turn, and you're like, oh fuck, and it's one of those things like the whole game goes 90 degrees, and you're like,
Right.
whoa, fuck, this is so different and so cool. All right, cool. And then I got to finally play it at PAX East, and playing that, it was like, is it just a one-hit wonder and what they did there? And they're like, no, here's the powers, and you can turn yourself into a fucking fire extinguisher and chase around follow the bad guy stealthily and then kill him from behind. I'm like, this is awesome. It's doing what I love about BioShock of environmental storytelling. I'm picking up these audio diaries. I'm going through this world trying to figure out what is happening, and then for it all to be, I don't want to spoil it if you don't know anything about it. But I mean, there's like,
Oh, the thing is, like, I'm such a fan of like that whole, emergent simulation type thing, which like very few people have tried to do. It seems to be it's solely based within like the post-Looking Glass arcane world, right? Where you've got your Deus Ex, you've got like people like Harvey Smith who are working on then made Dishonored, and then the rest of that team who are based out in Austin who are like working collaboratively on Prey as well. They're one team who are like keeping that dream alive, which is one of the like most beloved subgenres in the world, which is for whatever reason not many people have tried to do it.
It's hard.
It's really
I'm
hard.
sure that's
in
why.
a way I feel that's why Zelda is so good, because it's an open world version of one of those games.
That's
it's
true.
It's a game where you have all of these systems and they don't tell you how to use them, and you figure out emergent ways of utilizing them.
Like
And, like,
Metroid Prime is another example of that
Right.
type of game.
Whereas what they're doing with Prey, I mean, Prey is not a sequel to Prey. Like, I like the original Prey, Tommy Hawk, never forget. But like, this is a System Shock. Like, this is a new System Shock. I mean, there is already like 2 other System Shocks getting made, but this is what this feels like. It's another one of these like, emergent simulations. And the reason I want to know about it is the same reason I don't look up anything about Zelda.
Sure.
And the
Yep.
reason I think it's going to work is because that studio and the pedigree of people they have working there are all people who worked on the original System Shocks, the original like Deus Exes. One of the leads on this is the guy who designed Invisible War, along with Harvey Smith. I think it's going to be amazing.
the point you brought up 2 games in there that I think are important: Deus Ex and then
System Shock?
Arcane. No,
Or Arcane,
Dishonored. Thank you.
Yeah.
In the way of both those games, critically well received. IGN's Game of the Year is Dishonored 2 or whatever, right? But underperform. They don't
Yes.
find an audience. I think this is going to be a game that I think is better than those games. Personally, from what I've seen, it seems like more attractive. The controls are what you'd expect, which is always a problem with Deus Ex. Like, what the fuck? Where are iron sights? But it's like, I feel like this is going to connect with way more people. I don't think it's going to do Persona numbers. I don't think it's going to be Uncharted numbers. I don't think it's going to be like this huge fucking thing, but I think it's going to be one of those games, especially for Bethesda, that it's like, all right, cool. Here's this game that's this new IP that is this cool thing, and it's going to go somewhere, and we're going to be able to do it. And it's not going to be Dishonored where everybody's like, oh, that's cool, you made 2.
Right.
Why? Like, I understand you had a fan base. This is going to be a game that people are going to be like, no, this is fucking cool, and it's environmental storytelling, and it's doing different things in terms of a narrative.
Dishonored had this weird problem, I think, where like those games are amazing and the people who love them really, really love them. But I think it had like there's a lot to be said for the style of your game, and I think it has an amazing style. I love how that game looks, but it's not the most inviting. It's not like, there's a reason they make RPGs, they tend to make them fantasy because people like fantasy. But there wasn't really any like familiarity in the world of what Dishonored was. That used to be the case where the dark space opera thing, people never made those, and then Dead Space came out, and then suddenly people were like, oh fuck, we can make these dark space games, and then 1,000,001 of them came through with like first-person shooters with aliens and all these other ones, right? But we haven't had one of those in a while. In fact, Mass Effect has come out and reminded us that we haven't had a good space game in quite a while. So if they nail that and make this like incredible simulation type experience, then like this could very easily be like another Doom, like Bethesda again fucking
Coming
taking
through.
another game and making arguably the best version of it,
And I should
What
dial
a
it back.
time.
I know, right?
I might I said it won't do Persona numbers. I'm negating the fact that Persona is on one platform and not on multiple platforms. So there's something to be said for that.
PC credit are going to eat prey up.
Yeah, exactly. And with good reason, man. That game's going to be really fucking cool, I think.
Then next up, Injustice 2, May 16th. That's another one where it's just like the NetherRealm, Mortal Kombat, and Injustice. Like people really love those games, and it seems like they have kind of listened to their audience in a way that a lot of fighting games seem to not be doing. I mean, Capcom obviously are the kings of the fighting game world, whether it's Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter, and any of that stuff. But and they have what they have going for them. But the fact that NetherRealm has taken Mortal Kombat and turned it into this thing that, like, to this day on IGN, like even when we were there, any Mortal Kombat trailer would outperform anything besides Grand Theft Auto 5.
Same at GameSpot, yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. A character reveal trailer would like get millions and millions and millions of views, and Injustice is the same way.
That's the weird thing when people hit me up like, oh my God, did you see the new Supergirl trailer? I'm like, what the hell? Why do you? It's like, that's awesome. No, I mean, I'm not a fighting game guy, but I mean, like, it's so weird to have people talk about like nerdy ass DC shit, but coming at me and be like, oh my God, did you see how this guy fucking fights?
But then you get all the comic blogs and the film blogs doing the exact same thing because they're using the fiction and they're like, oh, what an interesting way they're going to use it.
Well, I mean, Injustice was so interesting because not only was the first game good, and I can't, I'm speaking from outside of looking at it. I played Injustice. I'm terrible at fighting games.
Right.
They're just not my bag. But I played through it because I wanted to see the story unfold. And not only did I do that, then I went back and I read up until incredibly recently the Injustice ongoing series, right? Because like, this is nerdy inside baseball comic book bullshit, but like Injustice Year One or whatever you want to call it was phenomenal, and it was written by Tom Taylor, and that's where Tom Taylor exploded. Now he does, all new Wolverine. He of course did the Deep. He did a Superior Iron Man. Like Tom Taylor, like made his mark with Injustice, and I remember I'll never forget being at IGN at the time when some other website that wasn't like you got a GameSpot or like whoever, it was like some other website shit all over Injustice because it like opens with like, oh man, and Superman gets tricked into killing Lois Lane, but it's really Doom. He thinks he's killing Doomsday, but he kills Lois Lane, and then he kills the Joker, and like they were making fun of him, like, motherfucker, you don't read comics. This is all awesome. Right. This is all fantastic. This is what comics should be, taking what you know and twisting it and varying it. And like that's where I struck up a friendship with Tom Taylor, and like that was so good that not only did the brand in the video game does so well, the brand has gone on forever. Like they're making new Injustice comics that are going into this. That the Injustice comics never stopped, and it's like, holy fucking shit to get to year 2 now, or Injustice 2, insane.
Yeah. So yeah, May 16th. So that's a game that feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, my worry about that is that NetherRealm have also put out, like, they've been pretty consistent with these, and I'm worrying, is there a burn happening here in the same way you get with like lots of these, like with music games or like with anything, right? Like after a certain amount of
well, that was always the thing with like Mortal Kombat and granted Mortal Kombat's always been around, but it felt like it took longer breaks, right? Yeah. Whereas now it is like Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Mortal Kombat.
Yes. It's alternating in this sort of biannual way, which, like, for instance, like same as you, actually, opposite of you, I'm not a huge comic book fan, but I played Injustice in that very similar way where I wanted to play through. I wasn't playing competitively or doing anything like that. But it was also one of these games like MK that you could bring out at a party and wasn't so difficult for people to play first time, like in the way the Street Fighter is.
Well, that's always been Mortal Kombat's strength, right? Even if you can't do a fatality, you can have a battle where you
no quarter circles.
Cool shit happens.
Exactly, yeah. You just hit pause and the fatalities are fucking right there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they have a benefit in the fact that, Street Fighter was such a lemon when it got launched, but they seem to have papered over some of those cracks now, and people are back into playing it online, at least in the competitive stuff. I think this might be the year you get that burn where like people like me don't bite on the
that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, like if a code comes my way, I'm gonna go home and play it and see what the story's all about. But if not, I'm not probably gonna seek it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'll keep reading All New Wolverine by Tom Taylor.
Then Fire Emblems.
Oh yeah, we saw Logan right away. Oh, it's great.
Logan's great.
There's a review up on YouTube.com.
Have you not seen it?
No.
Oh, you need to see it. You should just leave and just go watch.
Sure.
We'll pause the comment. We should all go.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Do you need a beer?
Fire Emblem Shadows of Valencia.
Let's get the Irish guy drunk.
May 19th.
We're all right there with you.
I'm good, Kev. I don't need another one. May 19th on the 3DS. We talked about this in the morning show a couple days ago. Fire Emblem Shadows of Valencia. It's the remake of Fire Emblem 2 from the NES, now on the 3DS. I love Fire Emblem so much. This is a game that, like, I almost don't even want to touch it. I feel like we've had too much Fire Emblem.
Right.
Where Fates last year, I loved it, and like 2 years before that, there was Awakening, and that's one of my favorite Fire Emblem games.
Just that mobile game came out.
And yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes, which
Yeah.
for the time I spent with it, I really liked it. It sucks that I can't play it on a plane because there's no internet.
Right.
Like you can't play without internet. But I thought they did a great job of mobilizing that game and making the gameplay of it fun. But with this, I didn't have a good time with Shadow Dragon when they remade Fire Emblem 1 on the DS because it just felt kind of archaic. Like I feel like Fire Emblems came so far. And they added some of the newer stuff, but it still felt like they were shoving the new gameplay elements in to what was pre-existing. And with this, it's a similar thing where they're adding the third-person dungeon crawling. I'm like, I don't want that. And especially like I don't want to play my 3DS anymore. Like I have my Switch.
Yeah.
I like my Switch.
That's
Like,
good because Nintendo don't want you playing your 3DS either.
I mean, it sounds like they do for now, just because they know there's an install base, and that totally makes sense. It's unfortunate that I need to wait till next year. Well, that's the other thing. They've already
I
announced
gotta get me one of him.
Fire Emblem Warriors for Switch and 3DS coming out at the end of this year. Totally different style game, so it doesn't matter. But then next year is Fire Emblem, the proper Switch version. So I'm like, I can wait. You know, I can play there. So I think it'll do well. People really like Fire Emblem. There's a lot of 3DS owners, so I think it'll sell well. But I mean, I don't think it's going to review that great. I imagine it'll get 7.5s around that.
Okay. I have no feedback on this.
Me neither. I'm sorry. It's
I
not.
love Fire
It's not
Emblem
where
so
I'm
much.
at.
Tekken 7, June 2nd.
God, Jesus.
Whoa.
Finally.
Yeah.
Like this is
Right.
definitely one of those
Yeah,
games
yeah.
that's like they've been talking about forever.
Wait. So Injustice 2 and Tekken 7 are coming out how far away from each other?
What, a month?
We are
Month
working
and a half?
looking at half a month, 2 weeks.
yeah, that's fucking too close. I don't know.
I mean, but then different audiences.
For
People
sure.
buying Tekken at this point, they're buying Tekken. You know, like you got the
Who's
Tekken.
buying Tekken at this point?
The
Great
guys buying
question.
Tekken at this point are the guys that have the arcade things in their house.
Right.
Like this Tekken is a
Like nothing against Tekken. Like, but I don't.
Like you're talking shit.
I'm not
It does
talking
sound
shit
like
about
he's talking
Tekken.
shit about Tekken, doesn't it?
I have no affinity for Tekken. I'm sorry. But like, yeah, I just don't know where the group is who wants to.
Where the
get
hardcore Tekken fans
There's
are?
just been a lot of Tekken disappointments over the years.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
like they're not, like I'm not. I just saw Sonic flash up on the screen. I'm not saying it's the same as that, but like they haven't. They've had some ups and downs in a way that I feel like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter at least have stabilized well over the past 5
That's
years.
the thing. Yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat had some lows.
Totally. And so
then
did Street
but then
Fighter.
But oh yeah, exactly.
But,
But then
you
it
know.
came back and it had highs, you
Yeah.
know. But Street Fighter, at least the core series, I mean, up until 5,
Right.
having some mistakes. But
And they've sort of. I feel like that boat is maybe doing okay.
it's
now.
it's fixing itself over time. But yeah, I don't Tekken's a weird one. Love Tekken 3 a lot.
That's the thing about Tekken. I feel like everybody has a Tekken like in a story.
I think it's always Tekken 3. Though.
Really?
It's Tekken 3 or Tekken Tag.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
Tekken
yeah.
Tag
because it was a
Tournament's the
launch
one.
title for PS2.
Right,
so
exactly.
It had that.
But
was
that's
one-
the thing is like that's honestly one of the last times I ever thought about Tekken. Tekkens are those games that come and go, and you don't even pay attention.
So maybe there is that big passionate community, and none of us are
100%.
tapped
The
into
fighting
it.
game community is
Right.
one of the most rabid communities, and they have their games that they play, and they fucking love them. And Tekken is definitely in that echelon.
Yeah.
So Tekken 7,
Sure.
June 2nd.
Yoshimitsu.
Oh, Yoshi,
Coming at ya.
motherfucking! I'm an
The
Eddie
Yosh.
Gordo guy.
Different
But- All right, then Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind coming June 6th. Obviously not.
Both of those games are already out. Morrowind came out in like
Why they just combine
1999.
these two old games into one game? Weird.
Yeah, so
I always feel bad for ESO because it was one
that
of those.
game is doing all right.
I know, but no. All right, let me. Great
Bethesda are
point.
doing
Great
all
point.
right.
raving review.
Great point. No, it was always that leading up to this game, ESO. I was always playing, and I'm like, I'm gonna play the shit out of this. I'm gonna be all over this. And then they did the Greg Miller Achilles heel of like, well, it's coming on PC and PS4 will be down the line.
Right.
And I was like, oh, and I tried playing it on PC, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I'm sorry, I'll wait for PS4. And then by the time PS4 got there, it was whatever the hell else was there. And I was like,
Right.
well, no, I'm
Yeah.
playing this up. I think it might have been. Was it Witcher? Or there was some other giant RPG that finally got there. And I'm like,
Right.
I already got the giant open world RPG I need to play. I don't
Yeah.
want to go through and do this. And it's not, the MMO part didn't get me. But every time something like this happens, the fact that, it's doing fine. A lot of people are playing it.
It's weird. There's a couple of we've had a couple of MMOs this generation that have gone from total shitstorms to doing really well. I mean, Final Fantasy 14
14,
online,
yeah.
when A Realm Reborn basically reset that game completely, turned into something new.
what a gamble, right? And it actually
Right.
worked, yeah.
Same thing happened with ESO. Tamriel Unlimited was basically their way of just like fixing it entirely. And then Warframe, I feel like as well, was a game that like at least had a development hell for a while. Launched on a sort of okay, and now has been doing incredibly well for that team. So, like, I don't know. You make expansions for games that are successful. Like,
Exactly.
if you have an MMO that's working, you keep making content for it. I think the fact that there's more stuff coming out for this shows that, you know.
There's an audience there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
They should have had a Morrowind expansion pack for Skyrim, though, because apparently that landmass was in the game.
Sons of
There was
bitches.
nothing in
God
there.
damn it, Pete Hines, you son of a gun.
Get on it. Next topic.
What? Mr. Shifty's sometime, I think, coming out somewhere in there, wasn't it?
Mr. Shifty.
Yeah, there's no confirmed release date for Mr. Shifty.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm putting it out there.
I only talked about the games that had confirmed release dates between now and E3. Next topic. What have we been playing recently? Let's get some impressions going.
Fuck me.
Let's start off with Mass Effect.
Okay.
Greg.
All right.
You talked a bit about it last week.
Sure. Yeah, I did. It was my review in progress, and I was, I'm going to
since
play
then,
more. And da-da.
you played not all the mornings.
That's the thing. It was like we came back and it was going to be, Mass Effect mornings here, and I was going to play it all week long, right?
Yeah, alliteration. Good.
Exactly. I think that's what I'm all about. And the fucking PS4 fucking straight up died. Like
Oh,
the
really?
day out. Like it just was like we were playing it and we showed all these bugs and then it just went. "Urgh." I was like, oh fuck! And eventually we got it back up and running, and I did the Monday playthrough of it. But it was that thing of, well, this is a story-driven game, but when you're streaming, you're not really paying attention to the story. This isn't working for me. And then during the down period, people were like, you should play Zelda. And I was like, you want me to play Zelda? So we've done Zelda every morning since then. But the problem is, of course, when you put Mass Effect next to Zelda, you're like, wow, one of these is a masterclass in game design,
Right,
and I
yeah.
fucking can't get it out of my head. And so like I'm going home and playing more Zelda and not playing more Mass Effect. And this jumps into what we were talking about a second ago, and the fact that the way I had been justifying it in my head of the trade-off, right? Because I had played a lot of Mass Effect going into the Gamescast last week, played more of it, then went to Edmonton for the heel kick stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna take Zelda with me, obviously, because and I thought about bringing the PS4. I'm like, I'm gonna bring Zelda with me because Zelda is my playing game.
Yeah.
Mass Effect's my home game, and now, as I've been playing so much Zelda and trying to figure out what I want to do, I think I have to at this point admit that Mass Effect's fine, is what I said last week, right? Like Mass Effect's fine. I enjoy the characters and everything else, but I think my time might be better served playing Persona. And so I think I need to switch it over to Persona's the home game and Zelda's the road game.
So does that mean you're giving up on Mass Effect? Like, do you think you'll ever come back to it?
That's the question of no, I don't think I will. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing of I like the Ryder characters enough, and I like discovering the Andromeda Galaxy enough, but like playing it even that one morning where it was like, oh, here are all these bugs, and that's really annoying, and this doesn't feel. And it's just like that thing of like, again, where I was so. Not proud of myself's the wrong word. I was so happy to have called it in terms of when last week's on the, I'm like, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the reviews.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get hobbled, but not get hobbled to like 6 and 5s. It's going to be, it's an okay game. It's a good game. It's whatever. And that's exactly where this Metacritic is settled, right? And the problem is, in the climate we're in, that's not good enough.
For sure.
That is not good enough for me. I can't right now with Zelda in my hand, with Persona in my hand, with all this other stuff going on. I can't sit here and be like, yeah, you know what? I started Mass Effect and I need to see it through. Like, it's not amazing. It's a good Mass Effect. Maybe one day I'll get back to it, but I doubt it. Like, I'm not. I like the writers and I like their story, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not. Whatever I said in the old Gamescast, 3 or 4 or 5 hours of Persona I put in are way better than now probably the 11 hours of Mass Effect I put in. And so why not go down?
You could get away with that in a different Q1, and you could get away with that about 5 years ago when there weren't so many good games coming out. But it's just like, I feel like this is really horrible timing for Mass Effect, where like this needed to be a very good Mass Effect game.
And it ended up being an
okay Mass Effect game. And that's just like...
And that's the thing is like, I'm not trying to take away from it, because like what I've enjoyed about this, it's been interesting, us being on the outside, now you being on the outside, right, of the review structure and that, where you do think of what's the Metacritic and what are we giving it and what does a 7 mean? And when you get away from that and really see what an audience thinks of a game versus what critics think of a game, and now to be influencers, but more importantly, look out when I'm looking at like, Shinobi on Twitter, or I'm looking at Brittany Bromrocker on Twitter, and they're enjoying it, and like Aaron Porter, our Guardian from RTX, took the week off for it, and he's enjoying it, and it's like, that's awesome. Do you. Yeah. But it is that thing of like, I'm enjoying it too, but I'm not enjoying it enough. Whereas like last night, you know what I mean? Like I want to do something, not Zelda. I've played enough Zelda. I'm too tired for this. I could jump in and see the Mass Effect story, but I'd rather watch a movie. And that's not me. I'm not the movie guy.
That's the thing. So Andy Cortez, one of the biggest Mass Effect fans that I know, like we've been talking, he was just like, yeah, man, like I'm gonna wait. I'm playing Zelda. Like,
Yeah.
I want to play Zelda. I don't want to stop playing Zelda. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be your game. And it's like, that's not good when, there's something that is, it's been this long. Like, how long has it been since Mass Effect 3? Like, that was
3 years?
2012.
4 years? 5.
I'm always
Right?
bad at this.
I think it was 2012.
Me and Colin were sitting on this one side of IGN that was not our final side. Naomi sat behind us, so it was when Start started. When did Start start?
Yeah, 2012. Yeah.
2012. All right.
I love that you.
That's my.
No, you gotta just
time
go back.
makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy. Like, Mass Effect fans have been waiting for.
But what's
Mass
interesting
Effect.
about this is, and this is a sincere look at me. But this is always the weird thing, and I don't know if you feel this, right? Because your job's a bit different with the documentaries. But a weird look at me and what I want out of games and stuff, right? Is the fact that Mass Effect's underwhelming me.
Yeah.
But I like it fine. But not enough to commit to it, and I want to jump to the next thing so I have something to say to the audience about it.
Right, yes,
But if
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't have this job, would I keep playing Mass Effect? If Mass Effect, if everybody was saying Mass Effect's amazing later on, would I keep playing? I guess not, because they said that about Last Guardian. I was like, fuck that shit.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, but it is that thing. Fuck
And
that
I
shit.
think that the problem with that is that the more people put it off, the more they're hearing that it's mediocre,
Yeah.
and so that the tail is dropping.
Yeah.
like,
And, it is,
as that's
and it is
happening.
that one weird thing of, and I know that this, and I said last, that I'm invested in these characters. I am. I like PB a lot. I want to see her story. I want to do their loyalty. See, I guess I will get back to it.
Is PB the really ugly blue looking thing?
Yeah, and Asari, she's
Is that
not
her name?
ugly.
Oh, Asari?
Blue, yeah, with the black across her eyes.
I don't know. There's some character that I just keep seeing images of. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
With
this
the-
thing looks.
She's got like the squid hair, the black along her eyes, and a purple jumpsuit.
Nah, that's you. She was in all the trailers, right?
Yeah,
That's
PB was in everything.
That's not
Big Kev Dog. Can you Google Mass Effect Andromeda image search
plus.
and then pull it up on the wall?
Yeah, I guess it's just that thing. It's when Mass Effect Mornings derailed, because that was my excuse to play video games this week, which sounds weird with our job, right? My excuse to play was I want to put time into Mass Effect, and I
Right.
wanted, let's make content out of it. Let's give me a reason to do it, and then doing it and it not working the way I wanted, and playing more Zelda, I was like, well, Zelda's so much better. Now
Right.
go down. So
Down.
You
Yeah,
are talking.
You're
That's
right. Yeah,
PB.
that thing.
That
No,
thing.
not
That's
that
her.
one. No,
That's
no, no,
her.
okay,
Have you
but that's
played
not-
a-
that's
have you
not what
played
I'm
a
talking
Mass
about.
Effect?
Go down.
No, go down.
I've
Keep
never
going.
played a Mass Effect ever.
Scroll
So
down.
you
that
are
one.
talking
I want
about
this
PB
one,
right
yes,
there.
But I want this stupid ass picture. Like,
What's weird?
What about it? Yes, it's
I don't like it.
If it
I
makes
don't
you,
fucking like
if
it.
it makes you feel any better, the textures in this game aren't that good. That's not what she looks like on PlayStation
Kevin,
4.
click some of the other pictures. They're all,
They're all the
damn
same picture.
thing. Now go to the other one to the right.
horizontally
I bet-
flipped. There's a
this one
GIF.
moves. This one fucking moves.
Put PB, PEBEE, Mass Effect into Google image search. Wait, you had it all right here.
Well, you're not gonna play because you're a fucking xenophobic or something.
You raise an interesting
no.
question. You raise an interesting question. Of I like these characters. Will I get back to it? I don't know, and that sucks. I want to, but I already know that I like Persona characters more, and that's me 90 hours of my life. So why invest another 20, 30? Not what is that? That is that is not a real thing. That is not a real image of
what I'm putting on this
PB.
one.
Stop doing this to me, Kevin. You're putting. Oh, that is not PB at all. That is.
That's upsetting.
That looks like. That's all.
Is that Sean Spicer mixed with PB?
It's somebody like that. Yeah.
That's real
Wait,
fucked
what?
up.
No. Is PB Christine Lakin?
What?
Well, Kevin took it away, so we'll never know.
Sorry.
There's a lot going on with PB.
There's a lot. The only reason I'm hating on
Yeah.
your girl PB
Yeah.
is I have to make thumbnails for this
Sure.
show.
Right.
So the amount of times we've talked about Mass Effect,
Yeah,
I keep using the same image of the
sure.
dude with the helmet.
Yeah, yeah.
And like there's been very few Mass
Sure.
Effect Andromeda images up until recently that are like quality thumbnails. Faces work well. So the amount of times I've seen that, I'm like, I'm not using this thing as a fucking thumbnail.
Right. No,
I
that's
don't
good
like
call.
her. I'm hating.
Sorry, next time you need to do Suvi. SUVI. She's my girl.
I'll
She's the
remember.
one
All
I'm in a
these
romance.
characters named after fucking food or ways of cooking,
Or like shitty cars that no one buys.
Jesus
But yeah.
Christ, yeah.
And then it's just the fact that Zelda is too amazing.
I mean,
Zelda's just too good to put down.
There's also like some sort of remnants of what happened with Mass Effect 3 happening here as well, right? Where you had a lot of people who were playing that game, myself included. I actually never completed Mass Effect 3. I love that entire series, and I kept hearing about how the ending was disappointing. And much like games like Fallout New Vegas, where I heard the ending was disappointing, I just kind of stopped. About 80% in, I was like, all right, I'll get it back to it eventually.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, never did.
But you always know what that means. Like when I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to platinum Metal Gear Solid 5 during the extra live
Right.
stream. I'll come back for it.
Yeah, never, right? And what happened was, I think people came in with this expectation, with this like just worry in the back of their heads that maybe this game. There was always an element of that with Andromeda, where like they might fumble this like they fumbled the ending of Mass Effect 3. And I think it confirmed it with some people, and they're just gonna
see what's interesting about it is the fact that I don't know how much it was they're gonna fumble it like Mass Effect 3. I think it was the fact of so many being like, they can't screw this up. It's Mass Effect. And so
Right.
to get there and have so many weird, but like when we started the stream, right, Kevin, those two guys were just like walking in place, and you're like, this is like one of EA's premier franchises. So for them to get a game out that like clearly took a lot of time and not have it fucking be a home run is so weird.
or to even do that thing, just rush it out before the end of Q1 finishes to get the quarterlies in. Like if that's what they did with this, then that's really irresponsible.
It's just not. Yeah, it's not a good look. Do you think that it's going to do well specifically on the Xbox? Because while PS4 has had all these amazing exclusives, there hasn't been like all the games that we talked about, except for Resident Evil 7,
Right.
aren't available on Xbox One. So like, do you think that like those gamers are just gonna be like, I just want something?
I mean, I think all gamers will. I think this again speaks. It was a weird rollout, right? Of the EA Access thing is always so weird.
Yeah.
And this time it definitely blew up in their face.
100%.
Here's a million gifs of faces being
Yeah.
fucked up, and everyone's like, But I still don't think people canceled pre-orders. I still don't think people, and don't get me wrong, clearly
People did, but not a lot.
But I'm not saying like where you're like, oh shit, I think enough people bought this and then are like, I want to play this. I love Mass Effect. I mean, it's similar to me of like Infamous Second Son, right? Like I'm this huge Infamous fan.
Yeah.
And so Infamous Second Son comes out and yep, I'm going to buy it. And like, and I played it and it's like, okay, cool. Like this isn't amazing. It's good. It's more Infamous. And I'm sure that's how a lot of people feel. It's more Mass Effect. Yeah, it's rough around the edges. Yeah, it's doing this. But, and this is the other thing too, similar to how we're talking about Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2, is the fact that like Mass Effect 1 had its problems too.
Oh, yeah,
Elevators
totally,
and
yeah.
all sorts of garbage that in like just weird stiff animations. And then Mass Effect 2
I mean,
was
the
one-
combat even,
Yeah,
just
Mass Effect 2
was
was fucking phenomenal. And that's where it really, became this giant thing where it was everyone has these fucking Mass Effect N7 shirts and tights.
But they can't make an Andromeda 2. Like that's
You don't think so?
No.
They totally will. They totally will.
They've already said they did not commit to this being a trilogy already, and they did say that this could be a standalone sort of story that was going on. So, like, I don't know. I feel like already coming out, Mass Effect had a little bit of dirt on it coming out of 3, and
Sure.
now it's starting to have a lot of dirt on it, and I don't know. Like, it's fine for people like us who we don't care about that necessarily, but in the court of public opinion, I feel like having a toxic name is really dangerous for a game specifically.
That's a good
So,
point.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. It
but-
breaks my heart. I
yeah.
wish I loved Mass Effect. I wish I couldn't put it down, but it is a game that I'm like, oh, I enjoy this. I stand by everything I said in the review. I enjoy the writer characters. I enjoy the cast. I do enjoy scanning and getting better weapons and stuff like that. But it is just the thing of like, I said, the third night was where it clicked with me, where I was like, this is Mass Effect. That's
fucking
it.
alien. Is that what happened?
No, I wish.
No.
I was working on that Suvi girl.
You still haven't got an alien?
Well, no, because I still haven't played that much. Like, how Mass Effect, you don't know how Mass Effect is. You have to, you commit. It's rare that you're just like fucking bang, bingo, right away.
Oh, man.
You got to work
That's
up
like
to
real
it.
life.
You do their you got to talk to them. Ugh, let me tell you.
I
know,
Got to
right?
pick the hard
Gotta
options.
treat 'em right.
What do you got to say, Garrus? Oh,
Yeah.
shut up and fuck me. You know what I mean? That's all I kept thinking. But what it happened, Kev. Looked like a cricket. He looks like a cricket.
Kevin's never fucked a Russian alien. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know anything about it. Yeah, I want to see it through, but I feel like I need to mosey on out because we are in that place where it's just like, do I have time for this?
So what else have you been playing?
Can we talk about Horizon Zero Dawn a little bit?
Oh, of course.
We are big Horizon Zero Dawn fans.
What the
Kevin,
fuck
actually get on your
happened?
mic. You've been playing a lot. You played a lot last night.
Fuck. Did you? Where are you right now?
now? So I've cleared the whole right side of the map.
Okay.
I'm not doing like with these games. I can't just do story missions. Like I have to
Good.
go around clearing as much as possible. And
Collect those cups.
Yeah, the whole right side's all cleared.
Yeah.
And I've just started opening up the rest of the map. So I mean, I've got so many days.
When I finished playing that game, I got the early copy, as I'm sure you guys got from Sony.
Yeah.
Like a good 2 weeks probably before it came out. I think I played it like almost nonstop for like 3 weeks. But when I finished that game, I was sad.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed my time in that world so much and that's how I feel about Zelda right now. Is like I'm enjoying every single moment of it.
I have one
because-
divine beast left.
Right.
It's like, oh man, it's getting
Yeah,
close.
just gotta wait, right?
Oh, no, I don't even talk
I
about
think the whole, and I like Killzone, but the entire time I was playing that game, I was like, I cannot believe this is a game from the Killzone.
Oh my
Like,
god,
this is like
that's the biggest thing. It's
this
just
is
like it's
one of the
such
best
a
open world
masterpiece,
games I've
and
played.
Killzone's fine.
yeah, but like a totally different
Killzone's
craft when it comes to making games. You were talking about a linear, like
First person shooter,
They had
corridors.
really good-
Here's what we're doing.
Is Killzone
yeah.
great?
yeah.
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 Killzone 2 is great.
Killzone. I like Shadowfall and I like 3 had that weightiness to it, and that was fine. I liked it. Shadowfall, I thought, was where they got the like stickiness of the guns right, and I think that comes across in the combat of Horizon, because Jesus, there's a lot going on in the combat of that game, but it works. Like the slow mo with the shots, like being able to tumble out of the way, the way the camera operates, the melee stuff works. Like all of it is so tight.
That's a great point, and that I haven't actually thought in context of, because of course everybody wants to go, oh well, what about Zelda? What about Horizon? Compare and make them fight, and I hate doing that because I do think they're different games.
Yeah,
but one of the reasons I love Horizon so much is that I felt empowered when I was fighting, and it didn't feel clunky, and I didn't feel like I was fucking up. Whereas today I'm doing this boss in Zelda or whatever on the stream, and it's just like one of those things of like, oh fuck, right, because I was using my bow and arrow last, so I didn't have my shield assigned where you think it naturally should be. You know what I mean? For me, the lock on shoulder button should just be I have a shield no matter what, and of course that's not how it is. So I have to switch this, do that, blah blah blah.
The dance in Horizon is like as good as I have ever played in a game. The combat dance, it reminds me of games like, remember Stranglehold?
Yeah.
Where you enjoyed like jumping and like going on carts and down. Like Horizon, when I get into a fight with something, I'm not like worried about it and like trying to make sure that I beat them. Like some of the big boss fights are certainly like that, but like the beauty of just like everything down to the sounds those fucking dinosaurs make, or when you're knocking off like little parts of them, and like the way they like buckle on the knee when you hit them the wrong way, like everything about it is just
that was the
masterful.
thing for me in the combat of like getting to, I'm a huge Freedom Wars fan, right? And if you ever played that, but it is like sawing off specific things.
Yeah.
And so when eventually the game gets complicated enough of like, well, if you shoot off his disc launcher, you can use that against him. I'm like, oh fuck, and like you're lining up shots and taking up specific things rather than in the beginning where you're just like pop, 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 whatever.
Anything.
Yeah, we've talked about this a million times, but the polish of the game, and that's just not visually and like just with the world, but with the combat, where it's just like it does feel right. And like the sliding mechanic when I first saw it, when I was watching you play, I was like, this is kind of weird looking.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
good,
excessively long, but it's like it feels right when you're playing it, and when you're fighting and you slide, fucking pop a motherfucker, slide again, pop. It's just like it works, and even just like the little details of like her hair color matching the color of the grass,
crops
the
or
tall
whatever,
grass. That when you go through, it feels like you always feel like a badass in a way that I feel like games often strive to make you feel like, and it's always kind of forced and fake. Whereas this is like, nah, I'm the fucking predator here.
Empowerment again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Where you feel like you're in control of the situation. It's not that, oh man, these clunky controls or this weird thing.
And you're in control of it, and you're the one in power, but it's not that the enemy is weak. And I think that a lot of games, you just feel like you're overpowered. You can come in and just attack them.
And it's not that you have a bunch of equipment. There's a genuine feeling of, and I mean, this is like people compare stuff to Dark Souls all too much, right? But like, there's a genuine feeling in games like that where the mastery of the character is what makes you stronger. And when you're playing as Aloy at the start, you're literally playing as a little girl, right? And you can only do a certain amount of things, and you don't have that much skills and all that. As you're playing that game, you're getting imbued with so much knowledge about how everything works, about the grass, about the different types of animals, the way they react and all that by the end, you're throwing yourself into these combat encounters and just like, not because she's got bigger guns, not because you've got like more inventory, all that stuff helps, but like because you've mastered combat, you're able to just destroy these things. And like it barely has like any problem. The combat's amazing. It looks amazing. It look like graphically it's incredible. The story's great,
right?
Like the story's really good.
That was the
voice
most
acting.
Unexpected thing for me was that game. When I came back from that preview event, and I was like, yeah, I thought combat would be fun. We've played it before, but like to come back and be like, I can't wait to see where the story goes. Like and then the fact that, no spoilers, when you start it, like there becomes a point where all of a sudden there's two fucking stories and both are fucking fascinating.
Yes.
Of like, all right, I want to know that, but I want to know that.
Yeah. No, I love it. And unlike you guys, I don't really like the whole open worldiness of it all, and I don't want to clear out the entire map before. I was like, I just want the story because I liked it so much. And I was like, I want to keep this going. And so I played it more like an Uncharted game where I just went from main quest to main quest, and I had such a damn good time with it.
Right.
And it's like I now can go back if I wanted to and do all those
more content,
other
right?
things. And it's
that's
like,
why it was so exciting when they announced the sales and was like, yeah, we're doing a story expansion.
Yeah.
like fuck yes. So,
There's so many
they nailed
weird
it.
parallel. It's almost like training wheels for Zelda as well, because not only did it have like, all of those sort of collectibles and whatnot, it even has down to like photographs of places that you stand in. It's like ridiculous. Like
it's weird that they came out so close together and that they are so similar yet so different.
So different.
In the way that I get different experiences and different vibes from each one of them.
They're like distant cousins or something.
Yeah.
And even the way like it's a thing that I've now like to do now that I'm out of the industry a bit more is like just try and not look at trailers all that much if I
Yep.
can get away with
Yep,
it.
yep, yep.
And like with Horizon, I went in with zero expectation, but also like I didn't know about all the different environments and like all the like even the way they handle towers.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
everything about that game, just they put in that little bit more effort and it really shows.
Yeah, and that's what's and I've said it before, and I'm so happy to see it pay off because again, I've covered PlayStation forever, so to see Guerrilla get that, and that's what I kept saying. I said in our review, right, of like this is Guerrilla's moment of going from Jack and Daxter to Uncharted.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you are on another level. Holy shit, you've suddenly gone up so much further in the ranks where. Maybe you didn't like Killzone, you liked this little bit of it, you thought it was beautiful. You know, there's different things, but here's a package. Here's a complete fucking package.
I would love to know the story behind this because I bet that they were being asked to make Killzone games for Sony for a long
Sure.
time. I bet when they finally got around to making their own new IP in Horizon, that they decided, look, we're not going to fuck this up.
Yeah,
we're
we gotta
we're
do
gonna
this.
we're gonna
This is
kill it.
what
Well,
we
I mean,
want.
you know what's so funny is like when we used to, as IGN, go to GDC and report on panels.
Right.
Like just let's cover these panels. I did the report where Guerrilla was up there talking. I forget if it must have been after Killzone 2, maybe
Right.
Killzone 3, but it was like, yeah, we're working on 3 different games right now. We had a game jam, we pitched this thing, that thing, and they had like not concept art, but something that hinted at all of it.
Right.
And it was weird to think that since that long they've been working on what Horizon was going to become.
Wow, that's nuts.
Comes across though. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
What else have you been playing?
Wait, you beat Zelda, right?
Yes. Well, so I wanted to end on Zelda.
La,
but-
la,
Okay, my
la,
apologies.
la,
My
la.
apologies.
yeah, but so you were talking about
Night in the Woods.
Night in the Woods.
Yeah, played
Oh,
some.
yes, please. God.
Finally got around to playing some Night in the Woods. It's a very different pace and also just, you know, mechanically, it's not a game about achieving much. It's
Yeah.
like it's really hard to explain, and that's a good thing, I think. It looks like a 2D platformer. It's not. It's not a platformer in terms of like there's no difficulty to it. There's nothing like that. It is
The way
a
people-
story-based game.
They had reached out to me a long, long time ago. And we're like, I forget if it was not this last GDC, but maybe a GDC before then, maybe PAX before then. Like, we know how much you love Gone Home.
Yeah.
This is a similar thing to that. And I was like, oh, awesome. And I clicked on the trailer and it's 2D fucking Catman walking around.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is this?
Anthropomorphic cat girl, and like you're in this Rust Belt, you know, town with, you know, massive social immobility where you're going back as somebody who's like kind of dropped out of college and all your friends are still there, and dealing with like the relationships of people's expectations of you against like, you know, their sort of dreams for their own future. But all told, like the thing about Gone Home is that I really, really like Gone Home. But Gone Home, the way it looks, I mean, people used to think it was a horror game before they
Hell yeah.
played the first hour or whatever. But the way it looks is the way it is. That it is a story about like this sort of like, stylistically it matches with the theme of it, right? And I think what Night in the Woods is, because they go for this like cartoonish anthropomorphized cat animal situation, it kind of takes the serious sting out of it, so you can sort of enjoy it. So in a way that like the way the story, the like super sincere story comes across even more sincerely, I think. It's basically a story about you interacting with people who you spend time with, talking to your parents in your house. It's the type of story that if like, I feel like there's something in here where you could personally connect on many different ways, depending on if you've left your hometown, for instance, or if you had trouble in college, or if you had friends who you grew apart from in your early 20s. And I kind of don't want to say anything else because it's all about enjoying the story. But it's
one-
great, super polished, really well written.
When
really,
I turn
really well
when
written.
I turn on the PS4 for recently jumping to Mass Effect or whatever, I see it there and I'm like, fuck, I gotta play that. I gotta make the time for it.
It is a game that you should make sure you're ready to play it,
Okay.
and then just do it in like a couple of days.
Okay.
Like just burn through it. It's it's a really special game. It's totally different to everything else that's out at the moment. So there was a little bit jarring, like
Yeah.
going from Zelda and Horizon into it. But it's very, very well made.
So then Zelda.
Oh fuck. me,
Update
man.
on where no spoilers, obviously.
Okay.
So I did beat it. I don't know if we talked on Gamescast
we
about
haven't.
that.
What's beating Zelda? Do you have
beating-
all of those little fucking?
Calamity Ganon
Koroks.
has fallen.
You found me.
Calamity Ganon has fallen.
yeah.
And I'm very satisfied with the overall experience. I mean, man, it is definitely one of my favorite games of all time, and I think that it always will be. I think that we're going to look back on this game, and everything I've been saying about it still remains true, where in 20 years we're going to talk about, I remember where I was playing Breath of the Wild.
Right.
I remember
A
what
plane.
it did differently. But I mean, I will remember the plane rides. I will
Beside Danny
remember-
and Tim also playing Breath of the Wild.
Exactly. Like doing all that. Like that, I will.
We haven't
And
even mentioned
you.
that. Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
mentioned that. We were all in the. It was you, me, Tim, Nick, and all in one row on a plane playing Breath of the
We
Wild.
did not plan it. I literally booked the middle seat because it was the last one left, and then who the fuck sits down next to
Yeah.
me except you?
It was amazing. Fucking amazing. And we played the entire time. That was your first you started the game there.
Yeah, I had not played it.
Yeah. So that was a very special
5
thing.
hours to Boston, 5 hours back. All I did was play Zelda.
Yeah, and and the time freaking flew
Yep.
because of that. But looking back on it, I do want to do at some point. I don't know when. I want to get some guests on and do a proper real
spoiler cast?
real
Nice.
critical thing for Zelda because I feel like it deserves it, and I do have a lot of thoughts on it now, and I think that it, as perfect as it is, and as as much of a masterpiece as it is, now that it's done, quote unquote, I do have a lot of thoughts where I'm like, I have ideas for how they could have improved, and I think
Right.
that's part of what makes it special, though, is that. Despite all of those things, I still think it's fucking amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And again, it's the same way like with Ocarina of Time, you can look back on it and just be like, well, they could have fixed this and
Nah,
could have
it's
fixed this. No, but I mean, it's not nowadays, though. I mean, you're playing the Ocarina of Time for the first time.
For the first time.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not that far. I've just completed Zora's Domain, I guess, that whole
nice.
part of it. Yeah, I'd never play. So I have no affinity for the series whatsoever. I played Wind Waker when I got a GameCube. That was the first Zelda I'd ever played. I have never completed one. I probably only played that to about 20-25%. I'm playing through Ocarina of Time at the moment, and just because it's a massive gap in my video game history. So I have no affinity for that whatsoever for these games, but I needed some time to make sure this was the case. This is genuinely one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah.
It is a masterpiece. And I mentioned it in the last segment, it feels to me like an immersive sim, those types of games where you've got all these mechanics and they have thought about every single permutation that's possibly there. Just using the cooking as a microcosm, the fact that you can combine all of these different things to make I keep finding GIFs on Twitter that I'm trying to not look at of all of these interesting ways of combining recipes together. But you put that into, the first time you figure out that the fire lifts you up with your paraglider, right? To trying to get into different areas, to combat mechanics that you didn't know worked. It's just this constantly unraveling world, but it's not doing it in an artificial way where they're tutorializing or where boats, man. I didn't figure out how to use boats until yesterday.
I still have
I've
it.
never used a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was waiting.
I have an idea for how it would work.
But I was waiting for the game to tell me, the pop up to say, this is a boat. To use the boat, you do, and it's that, but for literally most of the mechanics of the game. Is a little bit of hand holding at the start where they need to tell you how to use the buttons, but
for
even
me,
just apples, right? You walk out, there are apples on a tree. Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
My thing, and this is a critique I have that is really, it's not spoilery, and at this point, for people that have played, you should at least know certain things about the game. For me, the divine beasts are the thing that I do feel get a little bit too handholdy.
Right.
And they're not at all. But there's a moment where with each beast you get in and they're like, there's a map.
You need to go.
Right.
You need to find the map
Lynn.
to unlock the area. And they do that. And it's weird because it happens 4 times through the game. And every single time there's still characters, so that it's not line for line the same thing, but they're telling you the same thing.
Yeah.
And it feels weird to me because they obviously did that so that you can play in any order you want.
Yeah.
However, it's the only time the game holds your hand in any way, which
So it's
makes it
jarring.
stand out
Yeah.
even more.
Right.
And I'm like, why would you do that? But it's that's such a minor thing
Yeah.
to complain about.
It's
and
just-
I'm excited that there's DLC. There's a story
Yeah.
DLC coming. Fuck
It's so crazy that we're, this many weeks in, right? How many weeks is it? Because I feel like it's been a month and a half, but it's just been a
Well,
long
it's been
month.
3
2?
weeks since it's been done.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Has it
And the
really?
fact
Wow.
that every day on Twitter there is a new GIF or
Yeah.
a new comment where you're like, what? And even today or yesterday when we did the island, I did an Eventide Island.
Right, I just did that last night after I
Eventide
saw
Island,
you.
Eventide
Yeah,
Island.
yeah.
And it was that thing of I was walking Kevin through. I'm like, I know where everything is, and blah, blah, and I'm like, I need to get this ball over there. And I threw it in the water, and then I used the ice to bring it up.
Oh, that's how you did it?
And somebody in the chat was like, oh, I never did it that way. And I'm like, that's so fucking crazy.
Did you do that?
Crazy. I haven't done it yet.
Can you guess how I did it?
No, the guy in the chat said, I already forgot. What did you do?
There's a rock right on the edge that's
Yeah.
kind of ramped enough.
Yeah.
So I put it there, froze it, hit it a bunch of times, and it just went
Nice.
golf
Very
shot
nice. Yeah,
into
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome, and I love seeing it because again, I do think that it reaches a point with this game where, for a while, it was I don't want to see anything about this
Yes.
because I want to experience it for myself. But you reach a point where you're like, all right, cool, I've played enough that
kinda
now
there.
I want to see all the cool
Yeah.
shit people are doing. And again, I brought this up in some other show, but. Breath of the Wild reminds me of Star Wars Episode 7 in a lot of ways, where I was so excited for it, and I was like, I want to know just enough. I want to see a trailer,
Right.
but I don't want everything spoiled for me. Don't fucking tell me anything. I want to watch the movie and I want to,
Yeah.
experience it myself. But then it reached a point where after you see the movie, I was just
Yeah.
like, tell me fucking everything.
Floodgates, yeah.
I want to know every Easter egg, what stormtrooper was played by which actor, and there's like a second wind of I want to know everything. And granted, watching movies is different than playing a game. But what I'm saying is I feel like with Zelda, you hit a point where you're like, there's that second wind where I'm like, all right, now tell me everything I don't know.
But you
and I
reach
see gifts of people doing things that are like, and it's funny because with Zelda, it's the one game where it's not breaking the game. It's no, you could solve it that way.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys seen the thing with the magnets?
Oh no,
Nick Robinson's
Nick
thing?
Robinson.
That's what I'm talking about.
I
not the
literally,
magnets, electricity.
Well,
Electricity?
yeah, electricity through the metal.
I literally did the
that's-
same thing.
Well, that was one of those gifts where I'm like, you son of a what?
Right.
And it works. It totally fucking works.
Yeah.
It's
We're
Yeah.
not going to explain it to you. If you want to see, go look at
You can go to Nick Robinson's
Babylonian.
His Twitter is Babylonian. Yeah,
Babylonian.
Babylonian.
Yeah.
Babylonian.
Yeah.
It's
just fucking
from
awesome.
Poly.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've never, I just, even in getting into like the fact that like there are physical barriers to world exploration, like the island, right? But even the desert. And it just, the way they handle, or the mountain, sorry, like in the first area when you go up there and it's too cold for you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't tell you like, oh, you should do X and Y to survive here or whatever. It's just like this constantly unfolding world
Well,
where...
you know, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I mean, we did this documentary on NoClip like 3 weeks back about mystery, right? And like,
Yeah.
it's like amazing that we did it right before this game came out because we basically had like Derek Yu who made Spelunky, Jonathan Blow did The Witness, and then Jim Crawford who made Frog Fractions, talking about how you design a game where you respect the player's intelligence and allow them to uncover things for themselves. And one of the things that Derek talked about was how in the first Zelda, and again, I hadn't played these games, so it was educated for me. In the first Zelda, when you wanted to find those hidden dungeons, you just put bombs on special parts of the walls, right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's everything do, and it opens up, right? In Zelda 3, there was cracks in the walls. And like that is basically a microcosm for the way in which like modern games have turned into handholdy experiences. And they can be fun, but you've got games like Assassin's Creed, right? You basically have the UI telling you what to do. So you can almost play this game with just losing the map. Then you have a game like Zelda, which is basically not even done anything that crazy. It's just gone back to the way we used to play games in the 80s where they did not have this sort of handholdy thing.
And that was the thing that I after we were done with the review and progress of Mass Effect last week, that was the thing I was like, oh fuck, I meant to bring that up, is the fact that I saw someone on Twitter tweet out after playing Zelda, Mass Effect feels 10 years old. And the fact that, and once he said that, I was like, oh yeah, totally. Because it is, Zelda's like, I respect your intelligence. And Mass Effect's like, we're going to tell you a story. There's been this murder on this thing. Go here and find the body. The body is a giant star on your map. You go there, you scan the body. It's like, all right, now go find his gun. It's a giant star. You go there, you scan. Like, there's no like, Zelda's literally like, yeah, if you want to get in that town, there's a guy that wanders around. See ya. And you're like, wait, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what do you want me to do?
But it's and I think that coupled with the fact that there is so much to do means that when you hit those roadblocks, it's fine. It's like I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
And by pure like osmosis in this world, I'm going to find that information to then get me into that city.
Lucy O'Brien put up a thing the other day. It was just like, she has this, she's like, it was a screenshot from her phone of just like, my phone is filled with things like this. And it was just a conversation bubble of like, if you do this, you can find that person, but whatever, bye.
And I think all of that is super key because when it comes to Zelda, comparing the specifically Zelda 1, Link to the Past,
Right.
and then Breath of the Wild here, I think that Zelda 1, classic game, no one will ever, fight that at all. However, I do think that part of the magic of that game was the conversations people had in real life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was like, how do I do this? And someone else just figured out, if you put a bomb here, there's a secret.
Right.
But like the game didn't tell you that. And I think that's bullshit. Like, I think that it's too open. It's just, there's no way that you should have known.
How would you know that
to
this
put a bomb
pixel here? Yeah.
It's like, that pixel looks no different than any other pixel.
Yep,
so
yep.
Link to the Past having the cracks, I think, is a way to like, all right, cool. This at least is teaching you a language of what you're supposed to know. I think that Breath of the Wild is kind of the perfect evolution of both of those, where it has the openness of the first Zelda, but it's all logical. So, it's too cold. I'm shivering.
Right.
I need to get hot. How can I get hot? If I wore warmer clothes,
Right.
Or like it's all things like that where like, oh man, I need to figure out how to shock something. I probably need to use electricity and something.
You're right. So
magnetic.
and that's like the cracks, right? Where they are giving you the puzzle elements for you to piece it together. I think you need to have that bomb placed on a random wall just once, or you need to think that that's possible.
Sure.
Because if you
there needs
think
to be
that that's
rules.
possible, then anything's possible.
Yes.
And Zelda's world feels like a world in which I'm learning so much about what's going on here, but it still feels like there's so much to learn. And Derek also told, there's that old thing about why Zelda was made. It was Miyamoto was walking around that forest and he came across a cave, right? And he's like, wow, like I discovered this cave. The story ends there. He doesn't talk about what was in the cave. It's not about what's in the cave.
Sex.
Condoms.
Condoms as far as
Always
the eye can
condoms.
see.
Just like rows of them. It's about the mystery. It's like the magic trick, right? If the solution to the trick was better than the trick, they would have told you about the solution. They don't. They tell you about the trick. And now what's cool about Zelda is that element of mystery, it's an intangible thing. We're not talking about figuring all this stuff out. We're excited because we don't know everything. And for people I also feel who are in their 30s, who were playing video games for a while, sorry, you're younger than us. This similar thing, right? That's rare.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Zelda's really
I mean, today playing on the stream, right? Kevin and I got to the shrine with the constellations, and it's like, look at the constellations, and it was that shut the chat because we were playing on Twitch,
Right.
and it
I've
was
not come
like,
across that. That sounds
we're
amazing.
fucking
I haven't
wandering
done
around.
that
Like,
either,
what
yeah.
the fuck do we need to do here? And it's like back and forth. There's all this shit, and then like I pitch this idea, it doesn't work. Kevin pitched it, and then Kevin finally was like, what if we did? I'm like, oh fuck, of course. And then I still didn't have my head completely
Right.
wrapped around it. I was like, this is great.
Yo, Zelda's got Portal in it. It's got Portal in it. The shrines are Portal.
Oh no, I get
fucking
what
things, right?
Yeah. And that's my favorite part. Oh
Right.
man, the shrines. I just love it so much. I now that I'm done with the game, a criticism I have is like,
Right.
all right, did it need more dungeons? And I do
Right.
think that I personally think that it could have used 2 more dungeons and less shrines if that had to be the
How
concession
many shrines
made.
are there?
There's 120,
Jesus.
which is a lot of shrines.
Which really makes you sad when you look at your screen. You're like, fuck, I
Yeah.
have 46.
Yeah. And that's the thing, and
And I'm not finding them easy anymore. Like,
No.
where the fuck are all
Right.
these things?
I've loved so many of the shrines. There was a handful of duds, but overall, I'll give it to them because even the duds tried something different.
Right.
And there's the minor tests of strength and major tests of strength or whatever. And it's like there's a couple too
I'm
many.
skipping
of those.
all those major tests of strength.
You're like, nope.
But at the same time, I do feel like there is a reward. Those tend to be the shrines that were harder to get to.
Yeah.
So it's like getting to the shrine was the challenge.
The
So
amount
it
of
felt like
shrines
an
I've
award.
walked in where I've like busted my ass to get there, and they're like, all right, cool, here it is.
Yeah,
I love
thanks,
that.
man.
That's
Great.
so good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I like that, but I feel like the dungeons are the real meat of Zelda, you know?
Right.
But man, like I love the use of the runes. That's what they're called. The runes. Here they are in the beginning of the game. Master
Right.
these things
Yeah.
because you can be fucking creative and do whatever you want. Every puzzle's going to use these things.
The amount of times I'm in one of these shrines and I'm just like, I must not have. Nope, that's not the answer. You have everything at your disposal right now to beat this.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yep.
It's great, and so many games don't do that. They keep their like master stroke till the end. It reminded me of Half-Life 2, where it's like, no, here's the gravity gun.
Yep.
Like, we're gonna tell you loads of different ways of using it. Like it was the same with these runes, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It's like here's like all these different ways to play it.
Oh, that's so good.
Yo, put your amiibo on this thing.
Haven't
So for
done
the
that.
next topic, we're going to have a very special friend, Seb.
Seb's coming from Snake
Consumer
Pass,
Digital.
everybody. He's going to appear right there. We won't have been drinking. I'll put on a sweatshirt. We'll all shift over. Don't do it. You're breaking reality.
We'll get this on.
Time is broken.
Go support Danny O'Dwyer over at patreon.com/noclip.
No, /Danny O'Dwyer.
/Danny O'Dwyer.
Because it's not just No Clip. I'm also bringing back my old op-ed show real soon too.
Awesome.
So yeah, look
Thanks for doing this, Danny.
We'll get
pleasure as
about
ever.
that.
Great to have you. Great to be here.
Let's do another topic with Seb.
Let's do it. Hey Seb, why don't you just appear where I'm sitting?
And for our final topic of the day, we have our good friend, Seb, from Sumo Digital. Everybody, give it up for Seb.
You appeared from
you.
nowhere
Seb.
like a ghost. You
Indeed.
just popped on
Just
set.
flew in.
Like
Yeah.
a European ghost.
Like a European ghost.
That's why I left Europe.
Yeah.
Ghosts everywhere.
That, you know, it is an older place, so there's
Yeah.
probably more ghosts, right?
Totally. Dead
Yeah.
people everywhere, bodies, Vikings, all over the place.
Are
You
you-
were a Viking?
No,
Not a ghost Viking?
no.
right,
A lot
we're
of
good.
history there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen a ghost in Europe?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
There's like this haunted mansion near where I live where people go to, but now they've like turned it into like a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's kind of lame.
Oh, okay.
But they said the devil's
used to be
fist went
ghosts there.
through the ceiling. Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty fucked up. We used to go there at nighttime drunk and we'd see stuff, but like, you know.
You're-
We're also
you were
like
drunk.
drunk and we were
Yeah,
16
yeah.
years old, so, you know,
Alright.
I don't know.
I know. So
this is
Snake
Seb.
Pass.
Yeah, sorry.
Snake Pass.
Let's
yes.
play up over on
YouTube.com.
youtube.com/kindoffunnygames.
Right. So here's the thing, Tim. This is Seb.
Yes.
Seb's working at Sumo Digital.
Yes.
He made Snake Pass. If you're one of the people watching this on the early Patreon exclusive, it's coming out on Tuesday. If you're watching this on normal YouTube, it's out right now. You can go
Whoa.
pick it up. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch.
Switch and Steam. All of them.
Yeah.
You nervous?
If you have a computer, you can play it. I'm
Wow.
really nervous. Yeah, I'm excited, nervous. Like I sleep worse every night, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to come out for people to get their hands on it.
Well,
and,
you know, you've shown it to us a bunch of times. We've played it. We enjoy it. We did the Let's Play obviously a while back during GDC. This is after we had already seen like stuff you had talked about it after
Yeah.
you saw the trailer for it.
David Wise doing the soundtrack. That's
Yeah,
my
he
favorite
is.
part of this whole thing. The guy that did the Donkey
definitely
Kong Country
helped.
soundtracks.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then you came by and Dino, who was on your team, screwed me out of the Kind of Funny Nintendo World Championship at PAX because at no point during PAX East was I shown the secret route that Nick was shown that he used to retain the Kind of Funny Nintendo World Championship. I'm not a fan of it, but I won't hold it against you.
Well, next time, just think more like a snake, and you would have actually won.
Seth,
That's
don't
a
give me the
very solid
tagline to
point.
your games. Don't. So for somebody who doesn't, and this topic not really about Snake Pass the game. That's already
Oh,
out.
right,
You can
okay,
go play
sorry,
it.
yeah.
But what I want to know is, give it the elevator pitch to somebody who doesn't know what Snake Pass is.
Right, Snake Pass is a physics-based platforming game where you play as a snake. So this means you can't jump. It's all about managing your long body and using gravity and friction and the likes to navigate a level.
Sure.
and reach challenges.
And it's like a puzzler. Is that how I like to think of it? Because you get there, you
yeah.
see the gems. You know how, you got to get that, but how do you get that? And how do you keep your momentum? And how do you not fall and die like I did?
Yes, some people have said it's a puzzle game where the character is the puzzle. You have to figure out every time you want to grab something, you have to figure out how do I get this character
Sure.
to that place.
So now I want to dial it way back. Because what
Yeah.
you're here to talk about is how fascinating your journey to Snake Pass is. So...
How did you slither into
Ah,
the
Jesus
situation
wow.
we're
God.
at
Nice
now?
one.
At the office, do you guys do this all the time? Do you just have all these snake puns?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
We've had to take out, I think, about 80% of the snake puns because people
Right.
just couldn't hear them anymore. There were many more before then.
So you were telling me when you came through, you were a teacher.
Yeah,
that was
that's
your
right.
that was your day-to-day job, and then you played so much Little Big Planet, you got a job.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So
You can do that?
I know.
I can play so much.
telling me people can play games for a living?
I watch so much porn. Could I?
That's
You probably have an eye now.
Transferable?
You have a camera.
I do
You're
have a
set
camera.
to go. There you
I
go.
have a body.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You got a wife,
all the
too.
time.
Wow.
Man, new
All the
Patreon goals
ingredients.
coming
You're
to
set.
no clip. I can't
Jesus
wait for this. No, for you, Seb. How long? What were you teaching? How long have you been a teacher?
I was teaching biology, and I was a teacher for 4.5 years. So
Wow.
halfway the last year, I got an email from Sumo, and that's when I quit. So 4.5 years.
Instantly.
you don't
see
jump-
the email and you're
pretty
like, I'm
much
done.
instantly.
You can't jump around like that. You can't. So you're a teacher. You're a biology teacher in high school.
Yes.
Okay, you're teaching all these scumbag kids. They're coming in.
About
I
the
don't
birds
want
and the
to.
bees.
Yeah. Well, that's the exciting part. I don't want to learn about this, Mr. Seb.
Wait, did you have to do sex ed in
Yeah,
biology?
absolutely. Yeah.
Man.
That's literally biology, right? Human
yeah,
biology.
we had religion class. That's where that came in.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a religion class too. We didn't talk about it there. We
They
talked
said,
about
don't
it.
have sex. And if you do, don't wear a condom because you go to hell.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm
Don't wear a condom?
Catholic, man.
My God.
God's not about that. God ain't about that life.
Did you tell your kids to wear condoms or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually did the whole banana thing demonstrate. Yeah, it was
You didn't have
a
a
very
snake back
different
then?
life than
Great.
what I'm doing now.
I'm going to go
yeah.
get the snake.
Okay. So you're teaching biology. Do you enjoy it? Like, is your whole goal, your whole life, been to be a teacher?
No. I was always kind of obsessed with video games,
Okay.
and I always wanted to do something with video games. But when I had to choose a study, it was still sort of. People said like there's not a real career in video games. So,
Yeah,
and I
we
was
hear
good
that.
at the science studies, so I just sort of naturally moved to the science studies, picked biology, ended up getting a biology master on uni.
Oh, wow.
Did you secretly hate it the entire time?
No, not at all, because I do still like nature a lot and biology stuff, but halfway the second year of uni, I definitely was sure that I picked the wrong thing.
Right.
But by that time, I was already halfay, so it was like, I might as well
Just gotta
finish
keep
it.
This is
doing
such
it.
an awesome redemption story of like,
Yeah.
you knew it was wrong, but you're like, oh, I got to bite down and keep going, I guess.
Yeah, well, lots of kids have the same issue nowadays, I think. Nowadays, when you have
I
to
swear to
make
God, why do you hate this microphone?
Sorry,
you're
when you
like
have
doing this whole thing. You're over here. Kevin's going to yell at me after the show.
So when you have to make a choice, I was 17 when I had to choose what I
Jeez.
wanted
Right.
to be, and I honestly was not ready for that at all. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
just picked the most convenient thing and not the
Yeah.
best thing.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a 17-year-old. That's a
Yeah.
17-year-old
Right.
choice for sure.
So many people.
So you're playing games still. You're deep into them. When do you get introduced to Little Big Planet?
So it actually started for me with a different game called a PC game called Spore from 2002.
Oh, yeah. Well, right.
So that was one of the first games where it allowed you to create stuff for the community to play with. And I got really into that, and I must have created over 1,000 different creatures and vehicles.
Wow.
And when the expansion came out, it allowed you to actually create mini adventures, mini games almost. And I just got a huge kick out of the idea that people were having fun with the stuff that I was creating.
Right.
And getting feedback, comments, subscribers, it's just kind of addicting in a way.
Oh, sure.
So I just keep going and keep getting better, keep improving myself. And after about 2 years of spending almost every night in Spore, I got an email from the creators of Spore if I wanted to visit their studio in San Francisco.
Oh wow.
So at that point I was like, this is it. They're gonna offer me a job.
And how old were
this
you
is the
at this
dream.
point?
I must have been about 22, 23 maybe.
So now you're ready for the big life choices.
Well, I knew I was in the wrong spot at that point. So I was convinced that they wouldn't fly me all the way over to San Francisco for no good
Just
reason.
to show you the game and show you talk
So
to
I was
you.
convinced they would offer me a job.
Yeah.
So I was allowed to stay there for a week and visit their studio during a game jam that they were doing.
Wow. Was that over in Emeryville, the Maxis one? The Maxis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It got
Shut down
closed
there.
a couple
Yeah.
months later.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So that's probably part of the reason they didn't offer
They're
me
just
a job.
throwing money away, bringing people in.
I mean,
Yeah.
he dodged a bullet then as well.
Yeah, probably. So the days went by and then they never actually offered me a job until the very last day. They still hadn't offered me a job. So I decided to just try whatever I could. So I sort of started wandering through the building looking for the door with the highest looking function on it. And
Yeah?
I found some executive producer or something like that. And I just knocked on the door and said, do you have 5 minutes? And I just sort of pitched myself there. Like, if you want someone really passionate for video games, hire me.
Yeah.
Wow.
How'd that go over?
Well, I think they were sort of impressed by that, but it still never led to
It
anything.
didn't stop him from calling security.
That is awesome.
That is.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta do
balls.
that. That
That's
is
a Tim Gettys ass move.
You
Yeah,
just gotta go for it. I like that you went door to door, had the highest one. Yeah. You don't want to just be going to a producer. You need the executive producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's bold.
But then flying back and without a job offer was
Right.
very depressing,
Sure.
very disillusioned because, I couldn't believe that they would fly me all the way over there for really
Right.
nothing.
yeah.
So after that, I sort of stopped playing Spore. I was just done with
Oh,
it.
the sport. Oh,
A scorned lover.
Yeah.
What about Darkspore?
No, I never
No?
got to that. No, it
Dead to
was
him, Danny.
really
He
pretty
cut-
much
cut it
done
off.
for me after that.
Yeah.
But I read on some forum that the best creators from Little Big Planet were being hired by the creators of Little Big Planet. So I went out, bought a PlayStation, and bought Little Big Planet, and I decided to do the same thing to become the most subscribed creator in Little Big Planet.
See, this was
and try to land a
intentional.
job through that.
That is
Wow.
awesome. I didn't know
Intentional.
that part. That
No.
like this was a scheme from the beginning.
It
Where like,
was.
I'm going to play this game to get hired.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna be the best Little Big Planet player.
yeah.
So that's Little Big Planet 1 you pick up.
Yeah, Little Big Planet 1 is
Okay,
where
cool.
it started, and after a couple of months, Little Big Planet 2 came out, so most of my more advanced stuff is all done in Little Big
Sure.
Planet 2.
How many
So-
levels and how much did you put up for Little Big Planet 2? Or Little Big
I must have
combined?
created
even?
about 20 levels and 5 mini games, because later on it was all about using Little Big Planet to create things that look like they don't
Yeah.
belong in
Yep.
Little Big Planet,
Yeah.
like to really push the engine.
all those
and do
music
crazy
levels
things.
and all that stuff. I remember.
Yeah, I
there
was
a bunch
very
of
much
YouTube
into
videos.
3D stuff, like using the 2D engine to create 3D stuff. So.
Wow, okay, cool.
And then that I think that is what in the end that got me noticed. So after doing that for 2 years religiously,
and
every
how
day
many
creating
subscribers did you
content.
have? How many views were, I mean, what was happening?
At the end, I was up to about 15,000, I think.
okay.
Still not the highest there, but
Sure, but I mean, you're doing quality content.
Was
You've-
getting
You have
noticed,
the
yeah.
audience behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Media Molecule, they're dialed into that.
Are you talking about
Yes.
subscribers on YouTube? Are you talking about videos? Or are you talking about
No, just subscribers within the game,
In the
yeah.
game. Okay, cool.
That's awesome.
That's
That's a great.
that's a
That's a
big
huge
number.
one. That's a huge one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you like learning about game design then when you were doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's the thing that a lot of people seem to underestimate. Like, there's loads of people in Little Big Planet that are very good at game design because it's such a competitive environment. Everybody who's creating games there's millions of levels out there, and there's like literally tens of thousands of levels coming out every day. So for this relatively small group of people that play that game every day, to select your level, you really have to
Right.
stand out on all fronts. So it really pushes you to think from the. I look at creating a Little Big Planet level. For me, was someone selected to play my level, and I gotta make sure that from the moment they selected me, I keep them entertained from the very first second. I draw them in and I keep them playing my level until it's finished. Because it's super easy to just, as soon as you run into a difficult bit, to just quit out, go to the next level. So yeah, that really made me think about the entire process of what draws players in and how do you keep the players there. So I think I learned really a lot from that.
All right, so you're making all these levels. You're killing in Little Big Planet 2. Who reaches out? How do they reach out? Is it Media Molecule who reaches out to you?
No, so at that point, Media Molecule was no longer working on Little Big Planet.
Because they're transitioning off. Sumo is ramping up for Little Big Planet 3.
Which was all like sort of secret to
hush,
the public.
We didn't know that for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as I thought, it was still Media Molecule.
They had other dreams,
when
though.
I initially got the email, and I was a teacher for about 4.5 years at that point, when I got the email from Sumo Digital, my first reaction was
Why?
Google Sumo Digital,
Yeah.
and actually my first reply to the email was, "Is this for real?
Yeah.
Are you guys for real?" Oh, and they assured me, yeah, we are for real.
What
So-
was that initial email? Was it, hey, we want to talk to you about working here, or was it like, we want to give you this job, or?
Yeah, they said we've been following your work in the community, and some of our staff members have recommended you. Would you be interested in having a chat with us about maybe a possible job?
Wow.
Gotcha.
Something along those lines.
Did they mention Little Big Planet 3 in it, or was it that?
No.
Okay.
They did in the first Skype interview that followed.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How many interviews were there?
2, one over Skype, and then they flew me in for an actual face-to-face
And this time you
interview.
knew it was real. This time
Yes.
I'm flying here with a purpose.
Yeah, and actually the week before I flew in, I was on a ski holiday and I broke my ankle during that. And literally the first thing that I thought of when my ankle broke was not, oh shit, my ankle.
All right.
It was literally, oh shit, my job.
Yeah.
I have to be in England next week. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So
Where were
yeah,
you coming from?
I, at the time was teacher in Holland still.
Holland.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how long was that? I mean, how long did it take you to realize what was happening? Because I feel like they hit you up. Do you want to come get interviewed? You're a teacher already. You don't like the job, but is that thing? Is this real? Is this really happening? Like, was it when you got there on the first day and sat down at the desk?
Well, no, the interview itself was really nerve-wracking because it was for me like the make or break moment. Like
Sure.
I felt like I invested almost 2 years to get noticed in Spore and then 2 more years to get noticed in LBP. Like if I don't get a job now, it's probably never going to happen. So
Right.
I felt really the pressure of this has to happen now. So the interview, I was, in my memory, it went really bad. I was really nervous. I couldn't really answer properly. So the first 3 hours after the interview, while I was waiting on the plane, I spent mulling around in a big shopping mall there, thinking about what I said and what I should have said. And I actually ended up buying a little block note and a pen and writing down the things that I should have said. I went back to the office and I gave them.
No
the
way,
note.
really?
Yeah.
Wait,
You were fucking awesome.
Wait, you left the airport?
No, not the shopping
the
mall.
shopping
so I went
mall.
to the
I'm
shopping
sorry.
mall.
Oh.
I sat on the couch and I just started thinking what I should have said and what I could have said and which suggestions I wanted to give. And I wrote all that down. I went back to the office. I went to the reception. I said, I just had an interview. These are the things that I forgot to say. Can you hand this over to the guy that did the interview?
That is awesome.
That is a baller ass move. People take note of that. You should do that. Absolutely.
It did work in the end, yeah. Because a couple of hours later, actually, when I was on the airport, they already sent me a message that I was going to be hired.
Wow.
Hell
That's
yes.
fucking awesome. Is Kevin clapping?
It was-
okay. Yeah, you can keep going. Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a
Dreams do come true.
Yeah.
And not only was I able to become a game designer, I was able to work on my favorite game.
Yeah,
sure.
Like Little Big Planet is huge for me.
so.
Not just because of the opportunities it gives me, but just because I love that type of game, like the happy
Sure.
kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
What kind of questions were they asking you? Were they asking you questions as, all right, you're a video game fan who's good at creating stuff, or were they asking you like serious game design questions?
Well, funny enough, the guy that did the interview, which is now the lead designer also on the Snake Pass, I worked very closely with him.
Yeah.
That was the first time I met him on the interview, and the first thing he said when he came in, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but the first thing he said when he came in was, "I'm so sorry, I haven't prepared for this at all." So he sort of just winged the interview.
Gotcha.
And it was a kind of a weird mix between personal questions about my normal hobbies, just to see if I was a normal guy.
Yeah.
And some questions about game design and specifically about my ideas for A Little Big Planet.
Gotcha,
And
gotcha,
especially
gotcha.
that last part I wasn't prepared for. So that's the things I wrote
That's
on the
what you
note
wrote
later on with it. These are my ideas for Little Big Planet.
God, I mean, they played through your portfolio, presumably.
Yeah,
That's a good
like
point.
They knew.
Yeah.
So okay, so you go from Little Big Planet then. You did that Little Big Planet 3, right?
Yeah.
So then after that, does it go straight into Snake Pass?
Pretty much. Well, they were planning to move me onto a new project which was using Unreal, and because I only knew Little Big Planet engine, they gave me 2 weeks to try to learn Unreal Engine. So,
Oh, jeez, another high pressure situation. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't experience it like that at the time, but in hindsight, it might have been sort of a trial period. Like, let's see if he can still be useful outside Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
And so they gave me plenty of time to learn Unreal. And as I was playing around with Unreal, following tutorials, I ran into this tutorial about splines, and it tempted me to try to make a rope that would swing when the player walks into it.
Now, what are splines? Because I know splines from SimCity.
Reticulating
splines.
We're
SimCity 2000.
Back to Maxis again.
Yeah. It all goes back to Maxis.
It's basically you draw a bunch of dots and then a line that smooths out, that draws a smooth curve.
Okay.
That's roughly what it means.
Okay, cool.
So that's a rope that swings would use that essentially.
Sure.
So that's how it started. And when I didn't attach that rope to the ceiling and press the play button, I saw it fall on the floor in this really nice, smooth, coily shape. And I thought, I've never seen anything like that. And also, especially from the Little Big Planet, coming from Little Big Planet, where everything is really square.
Yep.
Yes.
So just that big contrast between 2 years of only looking at square blocks and then suddenly this smooth, beautiful shape.
Yeah.
I thought there's a game there. I'm gonna try to make something out of that. So my initial prototype was a controllable rope, and then I thought back to my history.
If I could control a rope, what is that like?
Some sort of rope animal.
Exactly. Well, in university, I had 2 pet snakes.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Called,
Wow.
Solid and liquid snake.
Oh, nice.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. Now, here's the big question.
You were born to make this game.
Were you
Yeah.
one of these guys who like brought the snakes to class?
No.
Okay. At Mizzou, I had one of these guys in like a
that's
journalism
too
thing,
far.
and then it got loose, and like everybody flipped out. Of course,
That's hilarious.
I was
Of
like,
course
why'd
it
you bring a snake? Why are you bringing a snake?
Why are you bringing a snake?
Sorry.
No, I did spend many hours watching TV with them just crawling through my hands over my body, and so I knew exactly when and how they use their muscles.
Yeah.
Right.
So I put a lot of that knowledge into there, plus some general biology knowledge about muscles.
Right.
And it started working more and more like
You
a
literally
snake.
have been training your entire life to.
Yeah,
make
it does
this
feel
game.
like that everything sort of led up to this game. Yeah.
So. You're getting Unreal. You're getting good at Unreal because that was going to be the next project or whatever. But then you start doing this snake thing. Do you come to people and you're like, hey, I think I have something here. I shouldn't work on that game. We should make this game.
So I had that. At that point, it didn't even have a head. It was literally just a cable crawling around, and I had a feeling that there was something special there. But normally, when I create something, I always get that feeling. Like you get that initial period of being really particularly proud of yourself, and then you look at it later, a couple of months, and you realize it was kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I always get that feeling, and I don't trust that feeling anymore. So I brought it into work, and I showed it to one colleague, and he was like, "Dude, this is amazing. I've never seen anything like this. You should do something with this." And which is exactly around the time that Sumo did their first internal game jam.
Yeah.
Right.
Trying to, because Sumo is a big company normally doing AAA games for other studios. But we always want to do something of our own. So they organized the game jam for that. And this was October 2015. And well, I had this prototype, so I submitted that to the game jam and I won it.
Wow.
And well, that led to initially Sumo giving me 3 guys and 3 months to try to make something small that we could put on Steam for maybe even for free, more as a promotion. Like Sumo has ideas as well.
Hey, we make original stuff. We're
Yeah.
not just doing Little Big Planet and other contract work. Yeah.
But obviously, the little team that was on it was just so passionate about the idea that we sunk incredible amount of time and effort and energy and love and passion into it. And after 3 months, when we presented to the bosses, like, this is what we're going to put on Steam, they were just so blown away by the potential of the idea and the amount of work that we managed to do in that small amount of time, that they gave me like 6 more people, so we went up to 10, and they decided to try to work towards EGX Rest, which was April last year, to try to make a demo and see if there was actually an audience for this game. So that happened. We worked really hard to nail the art style and turn this headless or sort of realistic looking creepy snake into something cute and colorful. And when we brought it to EGX Rest the first time, we showed it to the public for the first time, the reaction was just amazing. Like there were smiley faces all around. Everybody that looked at it wanted to play it. There was queues around our booth all the time. And we had our big boss standing in the corner with a big smile on his face. We're
Like the one
definitely onto
smile that
something.
matters.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty much the day after EGX Rest was finished, they came over and they said, we're going in full production. You're going to get a full team, with a real team with producer and a budget. And
How big's the team now?
So that was April last year, and it's been ramping up and down depending on what we need at the time, but it's been varying. Around 20 people have been working on it since April last year. Yeah.
So don't take this the wrong way, but do the people at Sumo Digital hate you? Because you come off like Tom Hanks in Big. Like, you know what I mean? I just showed up, pulled from the community, now I have this giant team, and Snake Pass is our big thing. Somewhere's like, I've been working my entire career. I can punch on the wall.
I hope not.
Okay.
No. Sometimes it's difficult to try to push your vision for something coming from a background that's so different from a lot of the other people. But I don't think they hate me.
Was it weird when you came on for Little Big Planet to be like, because I can't imagine going from, I love Patapon, but all of a sudden like, you're on the Patapon team, and I'd be like, wow, you guys made all the games that I love. I don't know where I'm going to sit up in a meeting and tell you this is how it needs to be, and that's how it needs to be. Were you timid at first to get out there and start talking?
Well, on Little Big Planet 3, it was. We know I wasn't the only guy that got in through this path. At the same time, about 8 people from all over the world, the best community creators from Little Big Planet, got hired and brought in to work on Little Big Planet 3. So there was a small team of us, all coming from completely different backgrounds, changing their lives around and trying to live the dream.
Who came up with the dog? Whoever's idea that was, they deserve a raise. Because that was the hit of that E3 trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when that happened?
Yeah,
People were losing their damn minds with that dog.
I'm not exactly sure who came up with the dog. I came up with the power up for the dog. Actually.
Okay, well,
smart. There you go.
The spring.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
So how crazy is it then? You go from being a fan of games to being like, I want to make games, to making the games, to now making a game that is about to be on all consoles, including Switch, that just came out. Like that seems like a big deal.
Yeah, it is unbelievable, and especially the last few months, it's just been going so fast, and it's been growing. Because initially we were only going to release on Steam, and then, another platform is interested, another one is interested, and then the most recent one, Switch, which was very important for us in terms of getting exposure. And and it's unreal. Like, and at this point, recently I looked at a video of our game, and I can hardly believe that we made that. Like, and
it all started as a rope without a head.
Yeah. It's just been a crazy journey, and every day there's a moment where I have to pinch myself to check if this is actually still really happening. This is one of them. Like, I'm sitting here with you guys.
And that's you just talked before this. You're running us through right. What's been your travel schedule here? We saw you in San Francisco for GDC.
Yeah, that was 3 weeks ago, I think.
God.
Yeah. And then we went to Boston for PAX for a week.
Yeah.
And after that, I had 1 day at home to do my washing. Then off to Madrid for 4 days.
Okay.
And then from Madrid, I had 1 day for washing again, and then we flew back here.
You can wash clothes in other countries.
He's got that jar of quarters he's got to get there. You know what I mean? He's not going to spend them anywhere else.
Funnily enough, the 1 day I came back from Madrid and I really needed to do my washing. My roommate actually had just moved out of the house and took away the washing machine.
Dick move.
I ended up having to go to the laundry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
God damn.
Man, well, maybe you'll get that Snake Pass money and you can, get your own laundry.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully.
That's the thing. I mean, from when it's, how it works for me is I think it was GDC. It was the first time we talked about Snake Pass, right? I'm yelling at Tommy, your PR guy, who's kind of funny best friend as well, off the line.
I guess I
You emailed me 2 weeks before. Organized. Yeah, okay. So I remember hearing about Snake Pass on the peripheral of it happening. And then when you sent through the email, I go through every email for a GDC or for a show to see if it is something that would work for us. And my first reaction isn't like, oh, whatever. I'm like, Snake Pass, I don't get it. And I click on it and I watched it. I was like, shit, this does look fun. You know what I mean? Like, this does look cool. And that's when we booked the Let's Play. And then the Nindies trailer came out and showed it. And I came back from something. And you were like, holy shit, have you seen the Snake game? I'm like, they're coming here in 3 days. Like,
that's the thing is I was excited about this separately from Greg talking to them, whatever. And also, Tom, shout out to you. I like you a lot. So I missed the Let's Play when they were all here because I forgot where I was. I was off doing something. But
it worked too, yeah.
I came back the next day and there was a Post-it note with a dick drawing on my monitor, and it just said, "To Tim, love Tom." And I'm like, who the fuck is Tom? And now the thing is, I was impressed because it wasn't just a dick; it was a very detailed dick.
Oh yeah.
I went to art school.
And
He
he went to art school, and it took
Draw a
up
lot of dicks down
2
school.
post-it notes on top
Oh,
of each
wow.
other. So
Yeah.
it was a real long dick. I was like, I don't know who this Tom is, but I like him.
Yeah.
And then I was running around asking who. I was like, who the fuck is Tom? And they're like, oh, it's the Snake Pass guy. I'm like, all right,
That's great.
all
So-
right. And
so
then
now
I
if
met
I
you in
wa-
PAX, and then there you go.
If anyone wants a job at Kind of Funny, they just do what you did, but just don't knock on the biggest door. Just draw the biggest
The biggest
dick
dick,
Draw the
like
big
the
old dick.
most
Tim's monitor.
post-it notes that
From
you
here
get
on out,
together.
at every meet and greet, you're gonna get
A
post-it
shit
note
ton of
dicks for the
post-it
rest
note
of your
dicks.
life, man.
I will accept them.
All
Gladly.
right, fine. But yeah, and that's the thing. I'm glad Snake Pass is great. Congratulations getting it out. Thank you very
thank
much,
you.
of course, for putting a platinum trophy in the PlayStation 4 version.
Ooh.
My plan for Snake Pass it comes out on Tuesday, right? Get it on the Switch because I'm going flying. Play it there,
yes.
figure out how to do every level, come back and just bust out the platinum on PS4 because I'll just know, bop, bop, bop. I'll probably have to watch YouTube to figure out the speed runs. Are there speed run trophies? I'm assuming there's speed run trophies.
Yes, yeah.
God damn it. God damn it. So bad at
Maybe you
speed
can
runs.
get, maybe you
Shut
get
up.
good enough
Shut up.
to beat the champ,
show's
Nick
over.
Scarpino. Anyway,
Seth,
thank you very
so
much
for
for
coming in.
joining us, Ed. This has been fantastic.
having me.
Everybody, make sure you check out Snake Pass. It's available in pretty much everything you could possibly want, unless you plan on some weird shit like Game Boy Color.
Sure.
You probably can't play it there.
Rest in
I'm
peace,
sure
Vita.
there'll be someone that figures it out eventually. But until then, make sure you support these guys. And until next week, I love you. Hope you enjoyed that episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast. For more Kind of Funny Games content, click right there to subscribe. For more just fun content like the morning show, click right there to subscribe to Kind of Funny. Or support us on Patreon here, or check out some videos there.
Give it a little wiggle.